It doesn't matter how many years we do this show. We're always going to start it with that 99-cent app. It's fantastic. Thank the Apple Store for that one. Guys, we got a great show tonight. I know everyone's very excited. I know this panel's very excited. So I can just imagine how everybody's feeling in the audience. So, guys, make sure you let me know if the audio's okay. I want to say shout out to the great Doggy Dog out there. I see him in the super chat. I see a lot of you guys out there. Fantastic having everybody here. I want to say just above that description, guys, we are going to go ahead and say, please consider joining the channel. Really, I got to tell you, so just before the show went live, I did get a chance to meet with the guy who's helping me out immensely and getting the new CrossFire set ready and up and running. I know I really wanted to do this for the 1st of January. Looks like it's more towards the February 1st date. But we've been working diligently behind the scenes and making it happen. So all of you guys that help us by hitting that join button and becoming a Mooch Maniac family member, it means the world to us. Let me just take a second and call out these great individuals that help the channel grow. Shout out to Sir X-Man, JudaZuk, WoolleyGamer, Ben Link, TrueWiddy, Fail Pyromancer, Frostbite Slash, Tactical Gamer, Zombilla Ice Cream, CustodsX, Hustle and Motivate, who's in the chat too, L.D.W, AceJunky, Two-Tone SB, Cooper, Replicant, Damion, JWE316, our major Mooch Maniacs, HumaCast, who might have been Umberto Pedro, I'm not sure, Ice Queen Gaming, The Wise Old Gamer, 4-Star General, Shaun Slamka, Brian B, a.k.a. Delirium Blades, Audible, Fart 507, that name's just fantastic, VIP, Mooch Maniacs, Darkseed 80, MexJ88, Remarkable Knights, Rich Kreischer, Rated D Demonic, The Great Percolator 9000, and Director Productions. Honorable mentions, we miss you, Windingo Rex, Van W, The Butcher Van, DragonHeartYoby, The Great WilmyHood, and Longshot 316, the forever Mooch Maniac. Tonight, guys, we've got a real hell of a show. Please do tweet it out. Let everybody know that we're doing this live. Call a family member. Tell them to just hit the button. Hit the subscribe button. It takes a calorie and a half to hit it, guys. It doesn't take that long, and it's not that much effort. That being said, let's get to our first fantastic panel member. You guys have to understand that this man does work every day, in and out, not just doing videos, not just his ear to the ground, not just talking to representatives for you. The great gaming Forte. Forte, welcome back to the show, buddy. How are you tonight?
Yo, man, what is up, man? It's great to be here, man. And yeah, for anybody that needs a 12-month Xbox card for $60,
yeah,
your boy got you. You can just send me a PayPal, and I'll make sure I send you that code.
No
ASAP.
upcharge?
No upcharge.
Wow.
We already got people out here trying to upcharge you on the real, so you know, I don't think this show gonna be too positive when it comes to like the main topic of it. So don't think that your boy Forte gonna be damage controlling any of this, because it's kind of crazy out here. But yeah, man, it's good to be here with you guys.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, Forte, we were I think the audience was even hoping that you might damage control just a bit, because the great Xbox defense lawyer may be joining us later today, and the great Crap Gamer is working his way to the show right now. He's on the road. We'll see if he can get here on time. But listen, in the meantime, since I don't have Xbox 448 and Crap Gamer here right now, I do have an amazing panel here tonight. And I got to tell you, I'm a little starstruck myself. These are some of the fantastic people you listen to. You see them on Twitter. They're here to give their input on a very kind of pressing subject we have tonight. I'm going to start with the lovely, the woman I look up to the most on Twitter and YouTube, the Ashen Luca. Luca, welcome back to the show. It is unbelievably remarkable to have you back on. How are you tonight?
Good. You can hear me, right?
Absolutely.
All right, guys. What's up? It's your girl, Luca. Yeah? You know, what's up, guys? It's your boy Forte. Oh, okay. What's up, guys? It's your girl, Luca. It's your resident scumbag, baby. What's up? It's the female Mooch, as some say. It's Luca on the second floor.
Yes.
And you know what? I woke up this morning and I was, I was bleary-eyed. I was tired. I was exhausted. And then I go on Twitter and I see this tomfoolery, and then I threw a fit. I threw a fit
yes.
that
Rightfully
I haven't thrown a fit this bad since I found out Cyberpunk was garbage, dude. So, I'm really ready to talk about this. Shout out to my Xbox brethren. Only some of them are damage controlling, and to those who are damage controlling, I had to get off Twitter because I was about to verbally accost them, dude. It was bad. Like, I was really angry. So I'm ready for tonight's show. I'm always happy to be here with Mooch, my Italian Eminem, and then shout out to the rest of the panel, of course.
Appreciate that, Luke. It's great to have you. The great Doggy Dog 420 says the super chat's still working. That's great. I was wondering if that button still worked. As a Mooch, we get concerned about that on this side of the microphone. Doggy Dog, thank you so much. The gentleman is here tonight, and you guys have been asking for him, saying, Mooch, could you please bring him back on the show? He hasn't been here. We like his rants. He's very passionate. The great Dean Knox. Knox Gaming. Knox, welcome back to the show, buddy. How are you?
Oh man, Mooch, thank you for having me today, man. This is an awesome panel too, and I haven't done this in a hot minute. Yo, Luca, what's goody? That my bad. I didn't say what's up earlier. I was walking around the crib and shit.
Dude, I was hoping you were gonna show up. I was like, Phil, Snake Oil, Spencer. I cannot wait to talk about it.
Snake Oil, Phil. He'll charge you twice, and you're gonna love it, right? Yeah, let's go. That's the jingle. If you didn't know,
the
there
jingle. Oh, I love
there
it, dude. Great to have Nox back. Noxie, great to have you here. Let me get through this amazing panel I got here because we got to get to the hot subjects here. This guy has an army that follows him around, and I was late to the party, but I am at the party when the doorbell rings. Always the first in line. Shout out to Supernova. Super, welcome back to the show, buddy. I got to be honest with you. Love your takes on Twitter. You definitely get into the argument. You're kind of like a 2014 Mooch, which I love. I love that. I love seeing that fight in you. Nova, how are you tonight?
I'm good, man. Thanks again, as always, for the invite. I'm glad to be here. Yeah, I'm doing good. It's gonna be an interesting show, man. Like I said on Twitter, this is an awesome fucking panel. So, man, let's go.
Absolutely, Nova. And then I've got my buddy here. Listen, I got news for you. Before the pregame show, Brap has got so much information. If you guys don't follow him on Twitter and YouTube, you're doing yourself a disservice. Will you follow the guy? Because we were literally in the middle of a conversation. I go, Brap, we got a podcast to do here. He thinks we're all playing Warzone in a party chat. Shout out to Brap. Brap, welcome back to the show. How are you?
Woo! Doing well. Happy to be here. Let's get the show started.
All right, great. Absolutely. And it's funny. She brought this up on Twitter, and I didn't even think of it, but it's something that I've been wanting to do, and we will be doing more and more on the podcast. Shout out to Erica for the win. Erica, welcome back to the show. She's like, tonight is going to be a female-ran CrossFire, and I got news for you. It will be, and I am very interested to hear what you guys got to say. Erica, how are you?
Hey, it's ladies' night. It's ladies' night tonight, man.
Nothing wrong with that. I got news for you.
Feeling's right.
The energy,
What a night.
The energy from this panel so far, you guys got me pumped. Like I was coming in here, let's do another podcast. But no, it's like electric tonight. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite. And we definitely got juicy stuff to talk about. Remember, Mooch? I was like, is there any topics? And then sure enough,
so
boom,
funny. So we're talking yesterday, and Erica goes, I'm not sure. This just hasn't been a big news week. I said, don't you worry about it. Especially when Xbox never lets us down. Right? We should all be thanking them.
Foot in the mouth.
Absolutely. And then another wonderful lady. You guys all know her from Gaming Beyond the Box. Outstanding to have Lady back on the show. Lady, it was just a few weeks ago you were on and absolutely killed it on CrossFire. So it's just a privilege to have you back on the show. And we both enjoy games and drinking. How ironic is that? But Lady, welcome back. How are you tonight?
Look at that. Yeah, no, I'm excited to be here. I'm a tad bit fucking sour from the news we got today, but it is what it is. I'm a few drinks in, and I am ready to fucking party.
I got news for you. I'm glad you. You said you were going to take a minute off. I said no. You just keep drinking because I got to be honest with you. Let's get that truth serum out on this topic. And I'm going to just read this quick super chat, and then Luca, you're on the hot seat because I got to talk to you first. Shout out to Face23. He says everyone was wondering how Microsoft was going to make their money back from that $7.5 billion Bethesda deal. Xbox, I know, let's raise He's saying in Xbox's words, I know, let's raise the price of live. Face, I'm sure we're going to get into a lot of that. But Luca, you did do a rant earlier today, and I got to be honest with you, you were pretty much spot on. For those in the audience and those listening later, what was it that really kind of irked you about the situation when you woke up today and just got the 5-alarm fire by Microsoft's announcement?
Well, mostly I was in a state of disbelief. I was just like, I can't believe that they're going to do this when they're already the losers in the gaming space. Like, Microsoft is in third place. They've been losing consistently all last generation. They haven't had in my opinion, a compelling IP in regards to it being a mass worldwide appeal, right? They haven't had that in quite some time. And they've been on a streak of good news. Philly's been doing 80 podcasts, 80 interviews in the last 3 months. He's had a lot of really good stuff to say. And then with the ZeniMax acquisition, I was feeling pretty positive about Xbox, man. And then it's like they took all that goodwill. The goodwill, they worked really, really hard to build back up because it was our Xbox, the brand in regards to the public opinion was already in the mud. Right. And then they do something like this. It's not like they're Sony. They can't pull something like this and then have everyone be like, kumbaya, my lord. It's going to be perfectly okay. And like I said before, I'm genuinely surprised and shocked that my Xbox brethren are actually speaking up because people tend to damage control a lot for their preferred brand, whether it's PlayStation or Xbox. So I was
Completely agree.
disgusted. I was irritated. And I was just like, why would you think that this is even close to being okay? Especially since Xbox Live is okay. You know, it's an okay service. Xbox Live has gone down multiple times throughout the years, which is why whenever someone says Xbox Live is superior, I'm just like, it's not superior when I'm staring at that cannot connect screen.
Yeah.
Disgusting. You know, it makes me sick to my stomach that they think that they can do something like this and it's going to be fine. And then I had people coming to me like, well, you're still going to pay for it anyway, Luca. No, the fuck I'm not. No, I'm not.
Does anybody listen to what Luca says? No, she's not. Absolutely not.
Absolutely fucking not. You got me fucked up. Some other guy came through and was just kind of like, well, I hope you keep the same energy for PlayStation. I'm like, do you know who I am? Do you know who
Apparently
I
not,
am?
Luca.
Do you know who the fuck I is?
Like, clearly not, because they think that I'm going to just go around and be okay with anything either of these corporations do just because I may
Luca,
like them or not.
I'm so glad
You know-
you said what you just said, because so many people were writing me today saying the same thing. You know, they were like, well, so is there going to be the same energy brought if this is Sony? And the answer is absolutely. Like, this is not something, this is a dollar amount. This is something about our wallets and what's going on with the future of gaming and what the actual intent here is. You know, and Luke, I think you mentioned it in your rant. And Supernova, I know you definitely have been alluding to this all day too on Twitter. And actually Brap did a great tweet as well. But I'm saying, like, I got to be honest with you guys. This is something that we've been saying on this show for a very long time. And you've all been on the show. So you guys know that this isn't something I'm just saying today. Like, this is a ploy to definitely push the Game Pass element, okay?
Oh, definitely.
And-
They are tunneling people into Game Pass, like legit, just tunneling them. Like, yeah, it's fucking.
And lady, you know, the problem I have with that is this. You know, I understand, and I say this all the time, we have a bunch of dedicated hardcore gamers that listen to these podcasts, right? And that's who's in the community. And I respect everyone on this panel and everybody in the community. But you do have to realize that there are gamers out there that don't want Game Pass, okay? I understand Game Pass is great. It's great value. I understand that. I get it. You know, I mean, if Xbox wouldn't get mad, I'd brand that. Game Pass, and on the back of the shirt, great. Okay? I mean, I get it. Like, I understand. But at the same point, I don't know if you guys have casual friends that just happen to game every once in a while when they're just bored, right? They don't follow the Twitter crowd. They don't follow us all on YouTube. They don't know what's going on. And they frankly, they never were interested in paying $120 a year for Game Pass.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, though, Mooch. Right? Look, which one are you gonna do if you're them? Are you gonna say, well, you know what? We're just gonna switch it over and say, you want Xbox Live? You want Xbox Live? You must have Game Pass. You have to get it. That's it. They're gonna do it just like that. Boom, raw dogs, like that. Or
Oh my gosh.
it's the truth, though. Or go, we're gonna make our own other to compete with themselves, which is what they're doing, right? To tunnel you in, just like the young lady said. I forget who said it. My bad.
I think it was Luca.
A lady, I think.
That was
Oh,
lady.
it was lady.
Okay.
Ah, see, I was right. Ah, there you go.
Lucky
right
Not
guess.
really young though, but I'll take it. Fucking
Nah,
take
nah,
it.
it's all gravy. Right? That's the only real course of action that they really have. Either that or just they want to. They've been doing. We've already said that this is what they were gonna do, bro. We've been talking about this shit for I don't know how long. This is what they want. So it's either they're gonna force you to get Game Pass and not have them at all, or give you the fake option and then G you into Game Pass. Ultimately, still getting their way. That's the only reason they're doing that.
Yeah,
Because it makes no other sense to do it. There's no other reason to do it. It just looks stupid.
The other thing, and shout out to Worry Ward who's in the chat too. You know what he just mentioned here is what I said a week ago. And shout out to Jez7780 who's on the SaltyX Gaming podcast. He actually quoted me today on Twitter, and he was right. I said, listen, no matter what we're talking about, and guys on the panel, jump right in here and tell me if I'm wrong. It doesn't matter if we're talking about a great show. You remember when The Mandalorian kind of caught fire? Like, Disney didn't keep on telling me how great it was. You know who? I had friends of mine. I had people on the internet telling me, this is amazing. Cobra Kai was just straight fire. People started digging it. They started watching it. When things are great or something is amazing and you have to go try it out, like everybody was going crazy for like Krispy Kreme donuts, and everybody's going crazy for like the Popeye
I
chicken
fucking
sandwich.
hate those donuts.
I don't. Thank you, lady. Thank you.
Disgusting.
I never
I-
understood that shit.
Thank you, Luke. Oh my God! Like I said this on a
Krispy
podcast
Kreme's
last
amazing.
week. I literally almost got
What?
knocked off
No,
the
it's not,
podcast.
dude.
They're
No, that shit-
terrible.
that shit sucks,
Um,
bro.
It's like a
Those shit
fucking
suck.
sugar bomb.
Yes,
Yeah, for real. Those shit suck,
It is a
bro.
sugar bomb.
it's
The
not
grossest thing
good.
ever.
But my point is, regardless
Love
of what it is that becomes a hot sensation, especially when you're talking about something on a subscription base, you don't need to be spoon-fed it by everybody every day telling you how great it is. If it's great, you will just get it.
It will speak
Hey,
for
Mooch.
itself.
Yes,
is
lady.
what it will do. It will fucking speak for
It'll
itself.
draw you in.
Can I-
It'll draw you in.
I'm going to defend Xbox here for just a
Want to
second.
hear it?
Let's hear it now. Let's hear it.
So,
Brad.
Mooch, I mean, you're right. Like, if it's great, you won't talk about it. But here's the thing: they don't have anything to talk about. Like, here's the difference between Xbox,
Okay.
Sony, and Nintendo is this:
Lord.
Sony and Nintendo can let the games do the talking. Microsoft doesn't have that right now.
Okay.
Yes,
I mean, even a fucking Xbox game fangirl, whatever you want to call me, as my, I will back that.
I mean, they don't.
grabbing shit out of the barrel at this.
I mean,
moment.
lady, they don't. I mean,
I
and
know.
so what else can they talk about? I mean, this is it. I mean, and Rory's spot on, by the way. I saw what he said
is
in
spot
the
on.
live chat. But like, they don't have anything. Like Nintendo, Sony, what do? Let the games do the talking. Microsoft's not there yet, and so they're always gonna. That's why Phil's
What
out
does
there.
Nintendo do?
What's that?
I said, what does Nintendo do? They just
Not-
fucking
not a damn
do
thing.
it.
They
They're just-
steal your money.
They steal your money.
They release a game. and
Yeah, they
then
release-
fans
does what
think
Nintendo
they're 10 out of
does.
10.
Yeah,
They
Nintendo.
charge you $60 for a 16-year-old game.
I
if
was
you
about
get
to
it
say
on
Oh
that.
my
Yes.
god, I
Disgusting.
ranted about that last time I was on the show, Luca.
Yes.
Yes.
And Luca, that's gonna happen again with Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. You watch. And
Wait,
they'll
Twilight
and
Princess.
yes, it'll sell
it's happening.
gangbusters. It'll be like
Cross-gen.
limited
It's going to be
edition,
a fucking Link to the Past, exactly as it was on SNS.
Yeah.
And they're going to charge $40 for it.
special edition.
Everybody's gonna
Switch.
eat it the fuck up. They're
Oh,
gonna be like,
absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
give me more, Daddy
No, but
Nintendo.
look,
That's what's
this-
gonna happen.
Daddy Nintendo.
Whoa.
If Game Pass was so great, companies would come to Xbox's door and be like, yo, Xbox, can we get our shit in Game Pass? But that's not the way it works. Xbox has to go to other places and be like, yo, can we put your shit in Game Pass?
Yeah.
Like even companies aren't trying to get their shit into Game Pass. Xbox is having to pay money to put things in Game Pass, which is actually costing them money. They have to
Yeah.
acquire
There was
companies
that
for
shit with,
$7.5
the
billion
Fallout
fucking dollars.
Game Fall Boys. What the fuck is that
Fall
game?
Guys?
Fall Guys.
Fall
Yeah,
Guys.
Fall Guys.
Yeah,
Earlier
yeah.
this week, when everybody was like, "Oh, Fall Guys is coming to Game Pass," and then Fall Guys was like, "Nah,
Nah.
no,
Not
we're
happening.
Nah.
Sorry."
Not that we
Can
know.
I piggyback off of Brap real
Go
quick?
ahead,
though?
Erica.
Go ahead. Go
Because
ahead.
Brap, you're talking about how the games speak for themselves, right? With Nintendo and Sony, and Xbox
Yeah.
doesn't have that right now. But that's what I think makes this even more crazy, because like Lucas said, they're acting like they're winning
Yeah.
out here. Like they could come in
Oh.
like and set the rules down. Hey, we got we're winning. We can make these rules. It's like, no, you're not though. The games aren't speaking for themselves. So that's what makes this even more.
And Game Pass makes it hard for them to say anything that's good. Like PlayStation will have Spider-Man come out and they can be like, yo, we just sold 4 million copies in the first fucking 30 days or whatever, because they're selling physical copies. If Xbox puts shit in Game Pass day and date, they can never tell us how many copies they sold. They never have any kind of good exclamations to make about the game. All they can tell you is how many concurrent users they have in Game Pass, which to me doesn't mean a fucking
Well,
thing.
I will say this. I think if they release Halo Infinite and it sold 20 million copies, you would definitely hear them talk about it.
But
they
it's
would
not,
definitely
because
think-
it's going to be in Game Pass and no one's going to fucking buy it.
What I'm saying is they're talking about concurrent users now, and I understand that's their business model, but I can guarantee you if they sell 15 million copies on top of concurrent users, they are going to flex. And I think to
100%.
Erica's point, like, and what Luca said, like in her video, which was great today, by the way, Luca, she was like, Xbox in last place. Like, you guys, like Phil, you guys have no room to flex right now. And what's even worse
That's right.
is this increase to $120 a year. It is only for new subscribers, which that's a whole nother conversation.
Well, we're gonna get
because
into that, Brad. Because
Yeah.
that
doesn't even make sense.
No.
well, that seems
No.
like it seems like a scapegoat for the conversation. Listen,
Yeah.
we're all grandfathered in, but Brad, I think we were talking about this earlier in the DMs, right? Here's the
Well,
problem with that.
real
Oh, no,
quick,
go ahead,
let
finish
me-
your point. Finish your point.
Yeah, let me finish my point real quick. So what this increase further highlights is that they still have a paywall for free to play. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
That's
Like
enough.
you
Yeah.
guys have a
That's a horrible
paywall.
part.
Nintendo doesn't have a paywall. Sony doesn't have a paywall for free to play games. Why do you still have a paywall? And like Lucas said, you're in third place. You need to be doing everything you can to win the hearts and minds of gamers right now with services and discount prices because you don't have the content right now to do it. End of rant. Go ahead,
thing,
Mooch.
well, no, that's fine. The thing I want to bring up that I've watched so many rants and so many videos today on this because I wanted to get a lot of perspectives from the community before I just went out there and did a show tonight. And the one thing that I haven't heard anyone say yet, and if they did, I apologize, I missed it, is that, when they say that we're all grandfathered in, again, I know for a fact that we will all pay attention to this, right? So maybe we'll all tonight go and immediately go put the auto renewal so we won't get hit with a larger charge. We'll continue this $59.99. But there's a lot of people that I know and I've gamed with recently that just they haven't turned their Xbox One on in a while, and they were like, hey, we were playing Warzone. It was a buddy of mine. And he's like, oh, hold on a second. He's like, I gotta upload I gotta get gold. He's like, I didn't renew it. So there's a lot of people out there that are going to forget to renew or just don't know when they're believe it or not, guys, everybody sit down in the audience. They're not going to believe this. There are people that don't know when their gold expires, and they're not privy to it. There's certain people that don't even know when their Visa bills due every month. So and that's a reoccurring thing monthly. I think that when it comes down to it, there's a lot of variables here. And I do want to read a few of the super chats here. So pardon me if I just take a second. Shout out to the great Marty Bison here. He says, all the ladies on the panel, it's like the RE8 trailer all over again. Fantastic to have Marty here.
Oh, boy.
I just want to be that tall bitch.
Yeah, who's fighting to be the tall one? The Rogue Inquisitor. He says, Phil Spencer just pulled a Scrooge McDuck. Then I've got Glinster here. He says, Xbox Live Fool's Gold. Shout out to the great WoolleyGamer who stopped by. WoolleyGamer, it's very late over there in the UK, so I appreciate that. He says, what's up, beautiful peeps? What's up, best meme ever? War Machine Guy says Phil Spencer needs to resign. We'll talk about leadership in a second. War Machine Guy. Flaffy 1101. He says Game Pass still an option. Asking for Xbox. Yes, we all miss Xbox presence here. The Ashen Luca is in the super chat and on the panel. This is unbelievable. She says hit that like button, fellas. I agree with her. By the way, please do what Luca says and hit that like button. Tweet it out. The Rogue Inquisitor says, offering Game Pass for $1 for so long, only to try and recoup it all to cover server costs. Microsoft headquarters must have shown Phil the hydro bill. Shout out to Replicant, a Mooch Maniac family member. He says, manipulating people into Game Pass by gold price increase is a cynical move. Increasing sub numbers by releasing quality exclusive games. We've all been asking for that. Gamer O'Malley, great to see Gamer O'Malley back, says the bot damage control reached its zenith today. You guys are using some fantastic terminology. I love it. Right. The Rogue Inquisitor says,
fucking vocabulary.
Isn't it unbelievable?
No, you have some very well educated
high
guests in live chat. Yeah,
absolutely.
I went to Harvard.
Harvard. Microsoft needs their own version of GOG for Xbox games. And Carl Smith says, not to mention the most of those third-party games, but on a PlayStation a year or more, or those games have become free through PS Plus. Monthly free games. I think he's talking about some of the third-party games that are sitting currently in Game Pass. Thank you all for those super chats. That means a lot. Please do hit that like button. But yeah, the super chat, they were coming through so fast. I didn't get a chance to take one at a time as we were going through it. But I'll go over to. I want to hear Erica. Erica, what's your take on maybe the 3 points we just got to with the auto renewal, the fact that possibly some people just don't want Game Pass, and maybe this is just. Is this really Microsoft's way of saying, look, just for a few dollars more, you get Game Pass. So why wouldn't you do this?
I mean, it's a really, really sketchy, dirty way of doing that. If that's really what they're doing,
do you feel it's what they're doing though? I mean, I'm asking the question. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to spoon feed that. I'm saying to you, do you think that's what it is, or maybe we're overlooking it?
I think my first thought was they're trying to recoup for how cheap Game Pass is. Right. I don't really know. I mean, that's pretty evil. It's kind of sinister to be like, okay, let's raise the prices and it'll force them to Game Pass. Maybe it's possible, but that's kind of wild. I think I'm leaning more towards just they're trying to get money because they're losing money in this other part. But it could be both. I don't know. But as far as people not wanting Game Pass, yeah, they're definitely out there. You have the Fortnite guys, you got the Madden guys, the 2K guys. They're not trying to try out some random indie game that they've never heard of just because it's there. Oh, I can, catch up on this backlog of games. Like they're not like us, we're the minority, really. We're the hardcore.
Right.
We're the ones that are, expanding our catalogs and stuff. But these guys, these casuals who just want to get online and play Fortnite and their parents don't know any better. You got the young kids that just want Fortnite. Parents aren't going to know any better. Oh, I need to pay for Xbox Live. Okay, boom, there's $120. And
I know better.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, us, you, yeah. But like, there's definitely some parents out there. They're not going to know any different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's definitely out there. They don't know any better. They don't want Game Pass, and it is shady either way. I think either way you look at it, it's just shady. It doesn't look
shady,
right.
It's fucking
shadesters
shady.
is what I'm saying.
Shady,
Yeah.
100%.
Shady shadesters. And the
Yeah.
worst part
Yeah,
about
it's
this,
sketch.
the worst
And I
part
fucking
about
love
this
Xbox, and it's like shady as fuck. I'm
I mean,
sour.
yeah, I'm an Xbox fan too, and that's what makes me sick about it when people are questioning me, like, "Are you going to keep the same energy for PlayStation?" Like, I haven't been making fun of the ponies for
Right?
years now.
No,
like, come on.
exactly. Like, I mean, I fucking
The
just love
equestrians.
gaming, and like for the fucking past year, I'm like, what a fucking great time to be a gamer, and now I'm like, well, wait, well,
There's
fucking
more.
wait.
Wait, there's-
Look,
there's more.
the thing is, the Microsoft knows that Game Pass was never going to be sustainable if they keep doing it for $1 a month or $2 a month or whatever. What they want to do is say, you know what? People are willing to pay $60 a year for online service, which they know they can already give us for free, right? They do it online already for PC. They know they could give us that for free. What they want us to do is transition over and go, you know what? For an additional $40, let's bring it to $100. That's what they want to do. They want to get us to that middle ground where we're at least paying $100 for their Game Pass shit and use Xbox Live
Yeah,
to
they're
lead the
tunneling. That's
way
exactly
there.
what they thought with all of this Game Pass
That-
coming in, like
that's-
$1 here, $1 here for a month and whatever. They thought that more people were going to sign up, and now they're like, wait, not as many people are on Game Pass as we thought were going to
Thank
be.
you.
So we're just going to
Absolutely.
kind of tunnel them into this fucking corner and
then
be
you-
like, well, now you have to be.
Well, then you
Speak on it,
know how
Louis.
they
Speak on
you
it.
know how they should have executed that. What they should have done is say, "Hey
Oh,
guys,
way
here's
differently.
Xbox Live Gold Plus. Here's Xbox Live Gold Plus, where if you pay $85 a year, you can have access to over 200 or something games, and bring it in that way. And whoever wants to pay for the premium version of Xbox Live Gold, they can do so. They didn't do
We
it that way.
already in Xbox, we're doing that with.
No, I'm
with
just saying
Ultimate.
that I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the way they should have introduced it. You know what I mean? Where they gave you the option to upgrade as opposed
Well,
to
absolutely, 100%.
as opposed to offering a service they can't sustain, because I think it was Supernova that said it. Nobody wants to be in your
Right.
shit, my dude. You got to go out and get people to be in your shit. You
Well, that's the
understand?
thing, and maybe they're trying to rely, and I want to hear Forte. Forte, you haven't gotten a chance to say anything. I do want to hear your take on this, but my thing was this. I think Lady just nailed the point first and foremost, and then Knox finished it. It was just that myself personally, and Gaming Forte, it's great to ask you this question next, because you've heard me say this so many weeks in and out. You've been on the show. Like, I just feel like we hear Game Pass numbers, and then everybody on Twitter kind of goes rant and raven, 15 million, 18 million. But when you look at the numbers that are out there for a true subscription plan to work and stay susceptible, it needs to be way higher than 15 and 20 million. You're talking 150 million plus. I think we saw that Netflix is well over 200 million now. So my point,
fucking dead.
right? And they're in debt. So my point being here is, Forte, let me...
consistently raising the price of Netflix every year, like no one's gonna notice Netflix.
Yeah.
And
They get a bunch of Indian and Korean shit to flood Netflix with, to say, hey, look, we got content.
Well, listen, I got to be honest with you. You have to have certain content in there. So, but Luca makes a heck of a point. Luca, let me just ask you real quick. I want to ask Forte, but you just said it. This is also a ploy. Let's not forget, Game Pass will also eventually go up in price.
100%.
So we're at $14.99 for the Ultimate, which is where we're gonna have to move if that's where you feel Gold is better suited for
I
you.
think this was them leading into that.
This is-
like we're
Lady,
this
this
is
got
shit.
This has got $19.99 a month written all over it in the future.
I'm sick of it. I'm sick about it, dude. I guess am I the only person on the panel who doesn't have Game Pass?
I don't have Game Pass.
I got it on the dollar deal when they mentioned it, Luke. I got it for 3 years for $1.
Yeah,
They matched my
I
goal.
I'll continue to have it, but I love
years
my
is
indie
finished.
games. I love them. That is something that I personally
if you love
I
indie
play the shit
games,
out of it.
Yeah, so you're enjoying that, Lady. I could see that, but I mean,
Yeah.
Luca, you know what you're missing?
Well,
Not
listen.
much.
Listen, here's the thing, right? I have been an advocate for Game Pass since it came out for years. I'm always like, yeah, it's a great option. But that's the thing. It's
That's
supposed
right.
to be an option,
That's correct.
not this
Absolutely.
artificial illusion of
Yeah,
choice.
but the thing
know?
is, we know they're gearing up to eliminate the consoles, to not have consoles. Period. That's where they're going. They're going to this place where there is no Xbox anymore. And
Well,
then,
they're going
so
too
how are
fast.
they? How are they going to make money? Because
Now
if you're
we're
not going to have an
into
Xbox to play
conspiracy
games
theories. Let me get
on,
another drink.
no, because if you don't have an Xbox to play games on, you need the subscription service to play the games. That's the only way they're going to make money. Do you honestly think after this generation they're going to make another fucking console? No way.
It's not seeming that
I
way,
honestly-
Novak.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think they will, but I
They-
do think that
Phil's
they're
talking about Fire Sticks for your TV, bro.
Yeah, but I think they're yeah. To your,
Do you have a KFC console?
tell you what, that KFC console. No, but to your point, Supernova, like I think they're definitely pivoting. They're definitely pivoting. Like so, there's something happened behind the scenes, and I forget who it was. Maybe it was Optimus Code who talked about this. He heard from somebody at Microsoft or something that they looked at, you know, the number 3 like revenue like generator in gaming is actually Apple, and Apple doesn't produce first party content at all. They're just generating money off their subscription service. That's what Microsoft ultimately wants to be. Yeah. They know that if they get 50 million subscribers, that's just an arbitrary number that Code mentioned, that they get to 50 million subscribers on Xbox Game Pass, they're going to make more money than they ever could putting out a AAA game. And that's the direction they want to go.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know,
the difference between Game Pass and Netflix is Game Pass has things with microtransactions, which is additional revenue.
And how long
exactly?
A time though? In how long a period of time are they going to make that money that they would make with a
that's
triple?
A great question.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know, man. I constantly hear about Xbox playing the long game, Xbox playing, know, 40. It's been a fucking decade, bro, and they're still not doing anything. So. I don't know.
Well, let me do this. Let me get Forte. I know Forte was kind of mixing it with his mic a bit there. Forte, you're all right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so Forte, what's your take on this whole thing? I mean, I want to hear, like, you know, because you've heard everyone's perspective and concerns, and like I said, I want to just reiterate, and I'm going to get to the super chats in a moment after Forte, but I just want to reiterate to the audience that this is something that, like, we're actually all in this together. Like, we're all the consumer, right? Like Luca reminds people that all the time. Like, we're the consumer. So, like, this is a genuine issue for all of us. But Forte, what are your thoughts, and what are you hearing from, or if any customers kind of came in today and mentioned anything to you?
No, as of right now, no one really like walks in the store and actually knows about this. I haven't put the cards out on the wall that show that 6 months is worth $60 yet. So it's kind of hard to say. I don't think a lot of people, like, on the casual side really knows about this yet. I mean, you know, that type of stuff's going to get filtered down from us, the hardcore, and then once, you know, major news outlets really start covering it on a consistent basis. They dropped it on a Friday, so we all know the best time to drop bad news is on the weekend, because they try to think people are going to forget about it by the time the Monday comes around. I don't think that's going to happen with this one, because this got some overarching craziness that's going to be attached to it, for the simple fact that I'm not really going to go into complete detail on, because everybody pretty much talked about it here. But for me, it's like tone deaf. It's like you're at a point now, like, you're not even in the situation where you feel like you can just raise the price of something that everybody has been paying for a certain price for over the course of 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like
it used to be $50 per year.
It used to be 50.
Yeah.
I was a beta tester.
Yeah, it used to be 50.
Here we go.
Yeah, you fucking old.
Luca, I was a beta tester. I played Revo, NFL Fever, Luca.
Luca says every podcast we get reminded of Brap's resume in gaming. It's great.
Yeah, we do.
I love it. I love
every show. No, but
go ahead, Forte, finish up.
But the biggest thing for me is just the fact that when I so I heard about this early in the day, and I was like, Addy hits me up on the phone. He tells me, he's like, yo, Forte, you got to jump in this podcast and talk. I was like, bro, I'm about to close on this house. I'm literally sitting in the office doing my closing on my house.
Congratulations, Forte.
Congrats,
Congrats, bro.
That's part of the American dream, is owning a house. Congrats,
I know,
bro.
Man. It's so great. It's so great. So I literally took a half a day at work today. So I was like, okay, well, let me do closing. That was at 1. I get to work at 4:30. And that's why you saw, maybe because, the news hit so early and I wasn't on Twitter, so I wasn't paying attention. And that's why I saw the card. I didn't even see it from Twitter. I just saw
they had that card out. I was like, damn, that was fucking quick. I saw it. And I'm an ex GameStop manager. Like I've been there. I've fucking been there. And I was like, they have that shit already. Damn.
That was like, yo, I saw this card. I was like, yo, what's this? And then I remember Addict telling me about them raising the price of Xbox. And I was like, let me go check the Xbox wire. And I read it and I'm like, why are you hiding the ball? Like, you're not even talking about the overarching problem in this. No one has a problem with you raising your prices. But when you literally take something away that was a benefit to everybody, because technically right now you're not giving any type of discount to anybody that has Xbox Live anymore, because it was built-in discounts the higher tier you went. Now you're basically just paying 10 flat dollars a month. Then you tie that to the PC side where they ain't even paying for it.
Oh, I'm sick.
It was going away. Like I was on that train. I was like, they're gonna get rid of that fucking shit. It's done. It's out the door. It's over.
What? And you know what? It probably still will happen in the end. But right now, I think the biggest thing is the reason they can get away. I'm not gonna say they can get away.
They're not getting away with anything, dude.
Well,
they're not getting away with it because we are standing our ground as gamers, and we are telling them straight up.
This is the question
on Twitter, man. I was lacing up my boxing gloves, and no one was fighting. I was like, "What?"
No, this is the question. No, I don't think. The reason do you think they're gonna change this?
I think it depends, to be honest. Because
I don't think this is gonna change.
I honestly think that Xbox is one of the few companies that looks at shit like that in a way where like, oh no, people are mad.
So history's on the side of change, right? We saw that from the 2013 exhibition, and then we saw things with just as recent as Halo Infinite, right? Because you had 343 tweeting out, and Erica, I want to hear what you have to say right now. But we saw Halo Infinite's 343 team saying this game's ready to go. This was right after everybody was concerned about Craig and everything else. And then literally a week later, they did a 180, and they're like, no, it's not ready.
That's different.
It's different, right?
Though.
So, Erica,
Halo Infinite got memed into the ground. That's why.
It really did. It became a meme.
This is getting there too. You've got Bernie on the Xbox Live count. That one killed.
Internet is undefeated.
That one killed me.
Freaking Bernie.
Erica, do you think they'll switch and turn around 180 degree here?
I would hope so. I mean, it is great that we're all standing our ground, right? But really, at the end of the day, you got to speak with your wallets. You got to cancel it. You got to not sign up for it. Because if they're going to keep continuing to make this money, I mean, do you see them stopping? I just don't know. It's just so crazy of the jump that it took. Because you would think it'd be gradual, maybe $10. You know, they went from 50 to 60
that was insane.
Before.
Double.
Right. They're going
but
double.
It has been gradual though. They've been falling off for a hot minute. They've been
on Xbox on price though.
Really.
Not with live.
No, not with
and
live.
we all thought it was going to be with games. Like that's where my thought was. I was like, games are going to be more expensive.
I mean, as a whole, as a service, they want to market themselves as a service. Like that's like what they
service
really
want to
though.
Exactly.
It's not
that's
a service though.
That's what I'm saying, but yet they want to. They do not want to stop attempting to market themselves as a service. Just be a goddamn platform, bro, and be a good platform and a powerful one like you used to be.
That's
the thing is, the service got to speak for itself. And the Mooch, I was going to ask you this earlier. Like, how many times have I been on your podcast? Maybe 3 times, 4 times, something like that. We're getting there. I feel like every time I've been here, and even when I'm on other podcasts and we talk Xbox, it always came up about Game Pass and how it was going to sustain itself. Remember, we'd be like, man, it's only $1 for 3 months, for a year. How are they making money, right?
Exactly.
And
they
weren't. The answer
we have our answer now.
Well, here's the thing, Knox.
We might have our answer now.
You may remember this, though, Eric. I think when we brought that up last time you were on the show, I think I remember saying, everyone keeps saying that Microsoft is this $1 trillion company. It's nothing to them. It's nothing to them. Listen, I got news for you. You know who hates losing money? Wealthy companies hate losing money as much as anybody else hates losing money. So my point being here is that when you saw something like, and this is another question, guys, I want to do I want to answer some of the super chats, but I want to ask the panel a rhetorical question. Do we think now that we see that probably this price increase has a lot to do with the acquisition of all these companies and teams they've built, and they're not just they didn't just buy Ninja Theory, guys. They bought Ninja Theory, they bought their IP, they also built them a whole new studio. This is money. Okay, there's 100 people. They're gonna blossom into 150 or more people. That's all their salaries, and everybody, they pay for all their lunches. It's unbelievable. They do a lot of stuff when you're under the Microsoft.
They don't crunch, they lunch.
If they weren't ready to do a full Amazon, then they shouldn't have went in for it.
But my question, absolutely, Knox, but hear me out. My question, I guess, here for the panel to think rhetorically for a second is, do you guys think that now that we see this, and this doesn't necessarily mean people are going to leapfrog over to Game Pass Ultimate, does this mean that we will start seeing a lot, not all, you can't speak in absolutes these days, not all, but a lot of the Bethesda games are probably going to be multi-plat. They're going to want to make their money. And
I've been saying that since day one, man.
I don't think so. No.
You don't think so, lady? I think we'll see. I'll give you an example. Fallout 5, I think, is going to be on PlayStation 5.
No, I think if they had recouped all the money and broke even, and now they're like, all right, we got our 7.5 billion back, then they can make everything exclusive.
The investment doesn't make sense if they don't remain third party. I've said that from the very beginning. Period. Plain and simple. The money they invested doesn't make sense if they don't remain third party.
Yeah.
So the question,
they're not PlayStation. If they were PlayStation, they could do that. They could keep it exclusive and bring even more.
Xbox players don't support Xbox games. That's the reason why Sunset Overdrive never got greenlit for a sequel. Just for whatever reason, historically, Xbox players don't support the fucking games.
I think that's fucking. I think that's a little. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about. First of all, you have to remember that Xbox. They stopped telling us how many Xboxes they sold forever ago, right?
Exactly.
I agree with that.
If Xbox didn't sell a lot, then you would think the attach rate for games would be lower. That doesn't mean that the people who bought Xbox games didn't actually support their games. You know what I mean? Everyone I know, every hardcore Xbox guy I know in this community has supported the quote unquote exclusives for Xbox.
Yeah.
It's just because overall Xbox didn't sell a lot of Xbox Ones. That's why the numbers were so low,
Right, but if that were the case, Xbox would know that. Xbox would know, okay, we sold only this amount of Xboxes and then this amount of games, so the attach rate was good for the amount of Xboxes we sold. Let's greenlight a sequel because we'll sell more Xboxes and the attach rate's going to grow as the Xboxes grow.
So
the thing is, the attach rate was low even for the amount of Xboxes they sold. It was shit.
In part, this is why we have Game Pass.
Yes.
Because they weren't selling first party.
Yeah.
Because their bread and butter was never in first party. Their bread and butter was always in third party. They never made first party.
I think
I didn't make first party. They didn't have anything to sell. They had their fucking sites elsewhere. They took a different path. They're going somewhere else.
Well, I think Lady,
they're not going the way.
Yeah, but they're just not willing to go the extra mile like they used to.
But it may be a combination.
But now
of
they
both.
are. Now they're backtracking and they're trying to get there. And no, it's not here now. But I full-heartedly believe that Xbox will be back on that track in the next.
But like I said, if the games were exclusive, if they're not exclusive, then they're not doing anything.
Oh, I absolutely fucking feel like they need to be exclusive. I am. Totally
I agree. I 100% think they should. I agree. I think they should, but I don't think they will.
Well,
because and Xbox holds this. It's for the gamer, and like
console
we have
exclusives.
this like fucking thought in the back of our head, like Xbox just cares about this. They love us, blah blah blah. And then today they came out and they were like, "Well, let me shit in your mouth."
Oh my god!
Xbox over the last couple of months, Xbox has on multiple occasions made comments about the ZeniMax games at Bethesda where they've alluded to the games being multiplat. Phil saying, we don't want to take games away from players. We're not trying to take games away from Nintendo.
Y'all need to stop using that whole Phil Spencer thing.
That's Forte. Tell him.
Phil also said that, in a hypothetical situation, when one of the interviewers asked him, he's like, "No, we don't have to put these games on other platforms."
He said we don't have to, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to. He also said that when it comes to the Bethesda games, they want to make sure they play best or first on Xbox.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is he can't.
They've said a lot of things.
My point was I can find way more examples of Xbox alluding to them being multi-plat, then you can show me examples of them alluding to them being exclusive. That's my point.
I understand that, but there are still examples of them alluding to them being exclusive as well. So it really comes down to we have to wait and see what actually happens.
No,
Luka,
100%.
You
100%.
think they'll be exclusive? You think they'll keep them for real? Like
I
exclusive?
don't think so.
Okay, I mean I still do.
No,
but-
I'm asking Luca. I mean,
So, I'm gonna tell you-
Well, there's a lot of titles.
I'm just like, for real, like, I just don't see financially. I wouldn't do, as a businessman, I wouldn't do it. Like I thought Microsoft had a whole
Gatekeep
different
it.
strategy, bro. I thought Microsoft was gonna just go in and say, "Yep, we're gonna put this on everything." But you know what, Sony, if you want to sell this over there, then you got to put Game Pass over there. Like I thought they were gonna do some
but y'all
like
make it seem
strong
like
arm
it's
shit
one.
like that.
But everybody makes it seem like it's just one platform that these games are going to sell on. They're going to sell probably more on PC than they do on Xbox.
What?
Well, they're certainly going to
These
sell more on
Bethesda
PC
titles?
with all of us leaving.
Those Bethesda
Of course,
games.
yeah, you read about that.
I don't know about
You
that.
read about that.
But no, let me tell you what. I'm gonna go back to the whole thing about
We all
exclusive.
know, ain't nobody fucking with them.
The biggest thing. So everybody here think, not everybody, but how many people here think that this move to increase the price of Xbox Live was a move to try to move people over to Game Pass?
I certainly do.
Absolutely,
absolutely.
I
Okay.
think it's a mix. I think it's a mix.
I
of
think it's a mix,
couple of
too.
things.
But let me,
What's the only move? It's
and I
the
think
only-
I think it's a mix too. But I also think about it like this: if that was the move to increase the price of probably the biggest money maker they have, they're basically tanking that service because nobody's going to pay $120 on a consistent basis like that to have the same thing that they had before.
Right.
More people are just if they want to stay on Xbox, they're going to go into Game Pass. Wouldn't you think it would be better for them to have those games exclusive? Because the whole reason that you're doing this is to build that subscription service up. I
No.
think this is another way of them basically coming out and saying that, hey, we want Xbox Game Pass to be the number one thing that's driving our subscription service, not Xbox Live.
Yeah,
And
I
in the
agree.
only way we're
Xbox
gonna
has been
do
going
that-
down that
And
road.
the only way we're going to do that is if we have games exclusive to that service and we don't have another service like Xbox Live holding it down.
But you got to
But
So I
then
think
why,
that's-
then why,
that's
then why
fine.
wouldn't you?
That's
Then
what
why
I'm
wouldn't you make that announcement before
Because
you
they're
raise
not
the
gonna-
price?
Wait,
Why
wait,
wouldn't
wait.
you make
Guess
that announcement
Because
before you raise
guess
the
what?
price?
Because
Let me
they're
tell
a
you why they're
business
not.
and they're not a consumer.
Because they're not a consumer. And let me tell you exactly the other thing. The
That-
reason
they're a
this
business, they want.
no, listen, look,
It's
Xbox
stupid,
did-
but I mean, it's a business.
let me tell you what
tactic.
Xbox literally put their hardest core fans, the majority of them, on a $3 deal. So guess what? This doesn't affect them at all. Like we're complaining about this, and it doesn't even affect us. That's why we
Ultimately, it
need
will,
to
though.
be
Ultimately, it
that's
affects
will.
why,
me.
no, that's why we
personally.
need to be vocal about it. But it doesn't affect us. Xbox basically looked at it like if we give all our hardcore fans basically 3 years of Xbox Live, this won't affect them.
Nah,
That's
nah,
why
that's
they
not
even
that's
came out-
that
that's
whole-
why they came out.
That's that
That's
whole
that whole
grassroots.
grandfather in shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
forget
that
about the
grandfather in
That's
shit.
why they came
Hold on.
out. That's why they came out in that statement and said that this is for new existing players. And if you stay in the ecosystem, you will still pay the same price that you paid before.
But I'll tell you something. That doesn't
Can I-
leave a good
Yeah,
that doesn't
can
leave a
I-
good flavor in anyone's mouth, especially like
No.
No,
Yeah,
it
but
does.
yeah,
No,
can I-
no. They
No.
literally should have just
hold on.
told people.
Let
They
Brad
literally
go.
should
Yeah,
have
I'm gonna
just
let
told
Brad-
people.
Brad,
Yeah,
Brad,
they-
you got the mic, but can I just I have the
Yeah, go ahead,
super
man.
chats
Yeah,
are
go ahead,
loading
go
up here, and I appreciate all of them. WoolleyGamer says Microsoft cancel what doesn't make money. Wouldn't be surprised the big corpos made this decision happen to meet targets if this does make money. Dark Saya says if you understand correctly, Game Pass has taken over, I believe, Xbox Live in less than 3 years, forcing people into a surface. Xbox keep it. 2021 was starting so well. I think he's saying he's not happy with that very much. The Rogue Inquisitor says people forget that Xbox is its own division in Microsoft. This proves that their resources are not as infinite as bots think. Slow-Mo, shout out to Slow-Mo Backslap, who is working tonight. I did ask him to join us. He says, today Microsoft told Xbox console-only gamers to pick up the soap. Oh, Slow-Mo, I wish you were here.
Wow.
Shout out
No,
to
I
Slow-Mo.
agree though.
Yeah.
Shit in our mouth. Come on.
Shout out to Slow-Mo.
Xbox said squeal.
Fork Boy. Shout out to Fork Boy
Oh
Gaming.
no, not with that.
Shout out to-
not with that. Take
Shout
it
out to
back.
Fork Boy. He says, I'm here to say Lady Rocks and what's up, Mooch, Luca, Forte Knox, and many others. And Fork Boy Gaming, thank you so much for becoming a Mooch Maniac family member as well. Thank you. Adrenaline says, the type of content Xbox Game Pass gives us is not sustainable the way it is now. I would have to explain the business of it, but movies and games are different. I completely agree with Adrenaline on that, and we can get into that in a second. Tactical Gamer, Mooch Maniac family member, says, does Jim Ryan use this as Sony's advantage? I wanted to go to Luca with that one. Luca, think about that for a second. I do want to ask you that. Panthorium, he says, has anyone discussed about the values of Xbox 12 months, $60 in stores? What if after the hike, they only give you 6 months? I smell lawsuits. So he's saying if there's something on their store shelves now, I'm pretty sure when you buy that and activate that code, you will be honored with what you've purchased. Sir X-Man says, if you really think about it, Xbox Live is pretty much cheaper than Netflix. Sir X-Man taking Xbox 448's position tonight. Nice to see Sir X-Man with a defense lawyer. He must have got his degree over the weekend. Replicant says here, Xbox Series X is niche tech, but ironically, the Xbone had their better launch lineup despite the underpowered specs and Kinect. No Titanfall for Xbox Series X. WoolleyGamer said something that got Erica a little flustered. I saw a second ago. He says completion rates, Gears 5, 18%, Ori 2, only 14%. And Sir X-Man says, I want them to get back to my early option for live, and then I'll get Game Pass added on when I see something I really like. I want that option back. Shout out to Sir X-Man. Brap, I promised you the mic. Go ahead. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say, the other thing that kind of stands out to me about this double increase in Xbox Live Gold, they're doing this in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
Where people are having issues financially. You look at the unemployment numbers are abysmal right now in this country. You have 9 million people on unemployment right now. I mean, this is not a time where you want to do something like this. When in reality, Microsoft, you should know, especially with your Xbox division, that all eyes are on you. You're under the microscope because, in part, like Lucas said, you're in third place. But like it's so tone deaf, and that's the part that like really like when I thought about it, I digested that they were increasing the price by double. It's like, wait a minute, like you guys, we're in the middle of a pandemic. What are you doing? At least throw in like a family plan or something like you do with Netflix. Oh my
God, the family plan, like
do something.
Can go on that.
To give some credit to Nintendo, they do that.
They do that exactly.
Absolutely, and you know, as a mom of multiple fucking little demons.
I'm with you, lady. I've got 4 of my own. They're like the 4 horsemen.
Yeah, I have 4 boys, and it's a fucking.
I have 3, so I feel your pain. I feel your pain. I got 3.
Yeah, it's not a fucking fun time, and that's one of the things that would like because I have Xbox Ultimate. Like I am the single person in my house that has Ultimate, and I have we have 5 Xboxes in this house. And it's like, well, now I have to fucking have Xbox Live and I have to pay double for it for like 3 of my kids. I'm like, y'all are fucking washing the car like all the time.
This house needs to get painted.
Hey, real quick, which I do want to say one more thing. And you know, the Bethesda thing comes up a lot because there is precedent to this. When they bought Mojang and what's it called? I can't remember. Minecraft. Thank you. You know, Sony actually called Xbox, like, I don't know if it was the day or the day after the acquisition, and said, are you going to pull this game from Minecraft from PlayStation? And Microsoft said no. So I think in part people question it because there is precedent there. Microsoft didn't pull Minecraft from other platforms because
the best-selling game in the history of the planet.
Because their games had already been on other platforms. They didn't feel like, you know what, it's not necessary for us to pull it out. It's not good business for us to do so. We're going to lose out on revenue and stuff like that. And we're going to hurt gamers potentially by doing that. So, and again, like I said this last week, Mooch, I've heard some interesting things internally at Bethesda that in part, some of the okay, if you will, to do this deal was, hey, we're still going to operate the way we used to operate. And so that leads me to believe that maybe Bethesda's still kind of calling the shots.
Absolutely.
Well, they alluded to that right after the announcement of the acquisition. They alluded to, you know, Bethesda is still the ones that are doing their own thing.
I don't want to
that's the perfect way to remain. That's the perfect way to remain third party and still be loyal to your purpose.
Yeah, and Bethesda, in part, I think the motivation for them, because I know somebody that works here, so they've run very lean for the last the entire existence of Bethesda. Like the board of directors, the investors, they were like, okay, you know what? We want to maximize profits. We want to squeeze as much as we can, right? with minimal staff and minimal investment in studios. That was their MO. And this opportunity came up for them to be like, you know what? We have a partner now who's going to invest us with a lot of money, but we still get to operate independently in most aspects of our day-to-day. And that's what made this deal happen, my understanding. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm kind of leaning towards, don't be surprised if you see Bethesda games on other platforms.
Here's what's going to happen. I think that's going to happen. They're going to have it multi-plat for these games, but I mean, they're just going to be on Game Pass day one. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is an incentive.
Either that or it's going to be
another way for them to
like
sell
a year
Game Pass.
later.
You mean like a timed exclusive? You mean
the timed exclusive? That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on the table. I think Game Pass day one and time exclusive to everywhere else.
They don't even have to. Even if it was day and date everywhere, they can be like, "Yo, go over there and pay $60. Get Game Pass Ultimate. You get it here day one with everything else." That's the way they can sell. They can do the timed. Or they could do it day and date, and still, no matter what, it's a way for them to continue to push fucking Game Pass.
Yeah, because
that's the path they're going. Game Pass is Xbox's. That's what they are going for.
Not Xbox's. Game Pass is Xbox. Period. And
exactly.
Yeah, that is the path they are taking. That is absolutely 100% the path they are taking, and I don't think anybody is fighting and like arguing against that at all. Like that is where they are fucking going.
Here's the thing. You know, it's interesting. In order to have Xbox Game Pass, okay, as we stand now, we may be able to get Xbox Game Pass on Samsung TV soon, but hear me out real quick. You need a PC or you need an Xbox console. So my question is, though, and listen, you guys all know this, and Luca, you know more than anybody on this panel. You really hang out with both communities so much. Like, I know from the guys that I know on the PlayStation side, that if they know Fallout is coming to PlayStation in 6 months, they're not buying an Xbox. They're just going to wait 6 months and then play it. Like, that's the difference here. I noticed a lot of times, and Brep, we had this conversation, a lot of Xbox guys buy PlayStations. Not a lot of PlayStation guys buy Xboxes. So
they don't have to. So
well, that's and this is where we got to get into the conversation that Lady and Erica were just brought up, and I think Supernova Tap Dance right on the subject line, is that if these games are not exclusive to Xbox, period, and they do eventually go over, which, by the way, I'm in the camp that believes that they will go over to PlayStation. Eventually. Maybe not day one. Might be 6 months, could be 12 months. At that point, though, there's no encouragement to go and spend $500 when you already have a $500 box in your house that will play it in 6 months. And I know a lot of people go, well, Mooch, people don't want to wait. Listen, you're talking to somebody that doesn't want to wait. But when we're talking about the masses, they'll wait. Go ahead, lady.
Okay.
What do you think?
Go for it. I just wanted to bring up a very, very prevalent, like, in my mind, it was a prevalent issue that came about at the fucking dawning of the last generation, where you had Xbox going into things like on the top of the game. We had the 360, fucking amazing things. We had Halo. We had a fucking amazing Halo community.
Yep.
And then Destiny happened. And Destiny had people pre-ordering Xbox One because we all, and I was a fucking Destiny fan. I mean, I've been on this train for fucking years, you know, since the fucking Easter egg, whatever. Like, it was, to me, it was going to be an Xbox game.
Absolutely.
That's what it was going to be. I pre-ordered an Xbox. My friends pre-ordered an Xbox One. Like, that's what we did. And then we found out that Destiny was going to have timed exclusives on the PlayStation. So how many of my friends canceled their Xbox One pre-orders to fucking pre-order a fucking PlayStation just because the makers of Halo were making a game and they were going to have exclusive on PlayStations?
Would you call your friends
insane?
Lady,
Everybody
would you call your friends hardcore?
Yeah, they're hard. They were hardcore.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Bungie fucking let me fuck Bungie in their ass. That's what they are. So
are your friends still playing Destiny?
Goodness.
My friends are still playing Destiny.
Yeah, I'm a big Destiny fan myself, and I had to skedaddle after the last couple of weeks because of some stuff they've done. So
some of the shit lately, like they're the shade, yo.
I know.
Like, I don't really play Destiny much anymore, but I'm all of my. I mean,
I see Lady's point. Lady's point is basically, if you build it, they will come.
Games.
But I mean, the thing about it, I guess, is
you build a community.
For years now, we've been saying Xbox needs must-have games that are games that are system sellers, where even PlayStation people have to acknowledge, yo, that looks fucking amazing. I need to play that game, and I need an Xbox to play that game. They don't need Game Pass to do that. They can just do that. They're deciding not to do that and just do Game Pass instead.
Yeah.
And we can say, okay, maybe with the acquisition of all these Bethesda games, that's what they're trying to do. But until it happens, it hasn't happened. And that's all me as a consumer have been asking for is Xbox. Make fucking amazing games. They give me no option but to go out and buy your shit.
Yeah.
And they haven't fucking done it in like 10 years.
Yeah. No, so let's do this. Luca loves this. Let's not let
Still love him.
I'm not gonna let PlayStation off
Who
the
said
hook,
that?
I did.
This lady.
Oh, lady.
It's
all good, lady.
But Luca, I want to ask Luca because
Said
Luca
10
always says
years.
this. Let's look at the other side of the coin, right? And so let's turn this to PlayStation side because I saw a lot of people bringing this up on both sides. I saw PlayStation fans a little concerned that this kind of opens the door for PlayStation executives to say this.
100%.
Right? Do we think, Luca? What's your take on what PlayStation may do with this news? Now, will they maybe slightly increase PS Plus, keep it where it is, and keep it as a dagger in Microsoft's back that they have that advantage,
I
or
mean,
match them?
Here's the thing: since Microsoft decided to double it, Lion Jim Ryan could just be like, we
Right.
could just raise the price just a bit,
Absolutely.
and we'd still be we're
$80,
still
right?
Yeah.
Make it 80.
We're still
80 bucks.
cheaper
Right.
than Xbox. So
That's,
it's completely,
that's the way they do it, baby.
it's completely
That's the-
plausible.
that's the way they
Jim
do
Ryan
it.
is
Yeah.
he's
That's
a
exactly how they do
shady
it, Luke.
Yeah.
man.
Just
He's
like
a shady
Xbox,
man.
Xbox opened the door to paying for online, and
Yes,
PlayStation
yes.
was more than happy to walk right through that motherfucker.
That's
Yeah.
the way they do it, bro. It's all brilliantly thought out, bro.
That's
Yeah.
why this
Go ahead, Erica.
move it's just not just bad for Xbox gamers. This could potentially be bad for all of us. All gamers.
That's how I
Unless you're on
started the
PC,
show.
of course.
Right,
Unless you're on
right.
PC, right, bro?
Well,
But other than that,
Well, I'll tell you, I keep saying PC's best place to play. Been saying
I
it for
got
months,
a PC
Erica.
5 seconds ago, and he's anyway. So
Hey, look, hey, look.
I had to slip it in there.
I-
I had to make it a wrap.
I've been saying PC. We don't have to pay we don't have to pay to play online, and we get all the great games. Xbox exclusives. We're gonna
No,
get
you're
Sony
right.
exclusives.
You're right.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
you
it's
know-
like I had some of my pony brethren galloping towards me saying it's time to come home to PlayStation, Luca, acting like I don't have a PS5 in my house. Right there,
it's right there.
right
Send you
there
a
on my
picture.
desk.
You literally just beat Demon Souls, but
Like,
you're right.
I got the platinum queen. You just gotta.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
They don't know you. They don't know you.
They don't know.
Brush,
But,
brush your shoulders off.
Yes. But yeah, no, I did have some of my PlayStation buddies coming through saying you should switch to PlayStation full time. I was like, no, I'm gonna get a PC because the way that these corporations work is that they mirror one another, and they
That's
just
right.
like except Xbox doesn't mirror PlayStation and Nintendo when it comes to good games. But
Nintendo just
whatever.
does the fuck they want.
whatever.
Damn.
Shout out to Sir X Man. He says Xbox had the 4-people family plan on 360, $99 truth. I think we all remember that. Giant
I
Mess
remember
says,
that.
remember that? He says,
Yeah.
Giant Mess
They
is
turned
only
that to the whole
because
console. That's what they did. Both of them did that shit. Turned it to the
Giant
whole
Mess is only because people like me bought gold, then bought Game Pass Ultimate, which was $75 a year. I think they should make tiers of gold live instead of upping the price. That's one of the things I thought was maybe small increments instead of just a quick double down. Quick Killing says the Xbox servers haven't been great since the 360 days. What comes first, stable servers or a new AAA IP? Quick Killings, when it comes down to it,
I think
I
gaming
don't.
servers in general have been shit.
Yeah.
Since the 360.
Yeah,
It's not
they've been
just
pretty
Xbox,
booty
It's
since
just
then.
fucking. It's just gaming servers.
I would agree with that. Yeah, they've been pretty booty.
It's funny because and just getting back to my question here, and I do want to we'll kind of just parlay a few different topics that are still on this major one, and then I want to get to a couple of the games. There have been some video games that came out this past week and some big releases, so I did want to talk about that. Face says Sony doesn't have a Game Pass service that they are losing a lot of money on, like Microsoft. But the thing about it, though, Face, and this is what I was going to ask the panel here again, was not to reiterate the same question, but I think that Sony might go ahead and let this. Sony did this back in 2013. I'm fairly confident. Do I have any documentation? No, it's just a thought of mine. I think Sony was going to come out and be $4.99 too and put the camera in the box. I think when Microsoft went out there, they legitimately saw the booing, the hissing, the bad write-up, all this and that happened between the 8 hours of the conferences they had, or 6 hours between each conference. And Sony was like, pull the camera out of the box and drop it $100 now. Because when they put the $399 up there, it looked like a sixth grade presentation that was up there, right? It was just a PowerPoint. It was a $399. It was like,
I
done.
can fucking stand.
Right?
Yeah, no,
So-
I remember that shit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Sony's going to go ahead and watch this fire burn for probably upwards of 4 weeks and be like, you know what, guys, listen, maybe we will eventually go up, but Let's just be the good guy for a long time and get all that positive press. Because you know what? This positive press could last them right into the holiday season, right? And
in general.
Right, absolutely. And like, and Lucas said, if it wasn't Lucas, I apologize. I thought Lucas said this when we first started. When you're the Yankees, I'll give you an example because I'm a Mets fan. It's a very sad day over in Mets camp. But, okay, thank you.
Xbox is like the Mets.
Take it easy.
Okay, I'm a Bears fan.
You know my pain.
2000 Subway Series?
Well, yes, I do remember it all too well. I went to Total Recall to erase
that's the last time, and that's the last time Xbox was great during that Subway Series.
Oh man! But like, my point I was trying to get at here was that the Mets really can't talk a lot of shit. We don't have any wins. Xbox needs to be able to fire on all cylinders at all times right now to catch up. Sony has a lot of victories. Much like the Yankees. So when the Yankees have a 4 or 5 year down spell, they can afford that, and their clientele, their fans are still pretty hyped up. That's the thing here. I think Sony is going to go ahead and ride this bad news for Microsoft and be the hero. And then, like we said, you know what? Maybe come early 2022 when they have Ragnarok and a couple of, maybe they will go to $69.99 or $79.99 for PS Plus, right? Brap, I mean,
and Mooch,
possibility.
yeah, you know what the other thing too is that you talk about that, like riding like the goodwill of the gamers, and Microsoft sticking their foot in their mouth again.
Right.
They have exclusive content dropping again 2020 and early. This like 2 months or
yes, they do.
They have Housemarque's first AAA game that's exclusive.
Deathloop's June.
Kenna.
Yeah, Deathloop. Kenna's coming. We know
coming.
Ratchet and Clank's going to drop sometime this year.
First quarter, second quarter. Yep.
Yeah, Horizon, Forbidden West, Gran Turismo. I mean, that's what 4 or 5 exclusives right there. I mean, again, they're letting the games do the talking.
Yeah,
and
they are.
It just, I don't know, man. This is what frustrates me about Microsoft. It's like they take 2 steps forward and then they do something like this. They take 3 steps back.
That was
it's
my point earlier. 2 steps forward.
One
step back. What are you guys doing? You don't have any content to fall back on. Yes, you've acquired some great studios, and I'm not going to downplay that because they really have.
And I fucking love them, and it fucking hurts.
Yeah, and then it's like, geez, it's like a kick in the balls. It's like, oh, it's like the Mets, right? It really is. It really is like the Mets. Like they make some big acquisitions. They hire a GM. Then the GM,
we got a new owner. Right, listen, we got a new owner. Things will change. I swear.
Mooch, I've been down that road with the Washington football team, so I don't know, man.
Well, let me do this. So you know what? It is a change of subject, but at the same time, this is an interesting point because I saw a lot of people kind of, I guess I'll use the word, shout out to Saltiest Gaming who's in the chat. People were salty yesterday online. I thought it was an outstanding Resident Evil showcase. I thought it showed enough. They didn't want to give too much away, but they didn't really show much more than we need to know. But I'm a Resident Evil fan, so I'm a bit biased.
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it myself, being the fan that I am. But what did you guys think, when it comes down to it, of the whole demo? And the demo came out, and the demo was, again, which, by the way, it was just a visual demo. So do I think Xbox guys missed out? No. But it definitely is another feather in Sony's cap. They went out and spent a lot of money with third party, which we heard from Emron. I believe his name is Emron Khan, who used to work for like Kotaku or one of those sites, and now he works for Kinda Funny. But my point being is he said that he's had gotten word before the consoles came out that Sony spent a lot of money on third party. And now we're just starting to see some of this. A demo that comes out and you get to play it. It was fun. I was very excited yesterday. I got to watch the showcase. And then I immediately downloaded the demo and played the 30-minute demo. Whereas they said Xbox and PC will get it maybe in April. And I was like, wow, April.
They said they're going to make
it. That's kind of, I thought it was March, but I mean.
March or April. I'm sorry, lady, if I'm wrong, but it certainly wasn't next week.
It's fucking late. It's late.
But it's going to be something
not
different,
right
though.
now.
It's not going to be
Today.
right.
It's a demo. It's a demo. I mean, I'm not.
So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And ladies, right? It's a demo. I don't want to make more of it than it was, and it's a visual demo at that. You weren't even the main protagonist in the demo. You're literally
the visuals in that game looked fucking fantastic.
Unbelievable.
Those are the fucking things that are making me like, I want that.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't that wowed. I wasn't that impressed by it.
You weren't?
Well, you're probably not impressed by much. So
I was gonna say Supernova. I thought it looked pretty good.
That should look pretty dope, bro. For the next gen
console. Fucking amazing from what I saw. I was like, holy shit, cream my jeans.
I think if you compared the details on stuff in that game to something like Godfall, And I don't even really like Godfall. I think Godfall visually is much better looking than that game. Granted, Godfall is not a cross-gen game, I understand, but still, like when they were talking up the details and everything, and I looked like it's a good-looking game, but it wasn't like, oh, holy fuck, look at this game. It's just a
Godfall,
they were walking through those
Godfall.
hallways and that gold glittering and shit, and I was like, holy fuck, look at this game. Like
No,
that was my legit
shimmering, sure, but I don't know.
Well, let me ask you. So, wait, you guys brought up a good point. For some reason, I saw it. I knew that it was going to be a problem with the internet. I know people were not going to be happy about this, but does it bother you guys that it's cross-gen? It's going to be a PS4, Xbox One game as well as a PS5 and Series
I'm
X?
surprised. I'm not bothered by it. Like I'm a little shocked, I guess.
It doesn't bother me because I understand the reason why these games are cross-gen, but at the same time, there is a little part of me that's fucking selfish. Is like, yo, I want some fucking legit next-gen shit.
I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about it, Mooch. What I don't like
Go ahead.
Cross-gen games is that it's just a very slick way to charge us on the newer platforms for a fucking update. An update that should be free or included.
It is free.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. No, it's not.
Yes,
You got it because you got
Yeah.
I think they said it is.
Yeah,
it's completely free on both on PlayStation and on Xbox.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a free upgrade.
Wait, after they were done talking about
so you're not gonna pay
collector's
$69.99?
edition.
Yeah, you're not gonna pay $69.99.
No, so, and they're not double
you're
dipping.
gonna
So
pay
if you buy it on PS4, if you buy it on PS4, then get a PS5, you'll be able to upgrade to the PS5 version for free if you get a PS5 later.
Look, man, I wouldn't be. I don't blame you for falling asleep during that stream.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, see, no, I thought the stream wasn't that great either. And then they were showing that stupid like multiplayer fucking PvP game with the cell shading and shit. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Did you not just have something like this in Resident Evil 3 that nobody fucking likes?
Yeah.
Did you not just have that fucking game where you played as the Raccoon City fucking SWAT team? I forgot what that game was called that nobody fucking wanted.
Wasn't that Resident Evil's? No, that wasn't 6. I was gonna say 6 apparently sold well, but nobody liked it.
You're talking about Resident Evil Verse, right? Like that's what they're.
That's why they're calling it Reverse.
35th anniversary.
Yeah, Reverse. Yeah,
whatever the fucking thing.
Yes.
But I signed up for the beta for that. Like I don't mind. I don't mind some like co-op.
Well, here's the thing. That's
I'd like
free
to go up
content.
against my fucking people as Jill
Yeah,
Valentine. Like, I don't
they're
fucking
just
care.
dropping
Come
free
at me.
content. Yeah, I agree with Lady on that. Listen, Supernova. By the way, the show itself. So I mean, like, the host kind of wasn't the best.
Oh, Brittany.
Yeah, I mean, I like her. I follow her on Twitter. She's very entertaining on Twitter. But like, she was just reading off of like, you could see she was reading right off of like a cue card or a prompt.
Oh, and you know what? I will give it to her that is a fucking big move for somebody who is a podcast host like myself or Luca or
that's true.
Erica. Like that's fucking amazing.
But do you remember when we were harsh with Jeff? You remember Jeff Keighley? Like we were all very hard on Jeff the first few years he did the Game Awards. I mean, that was hard to watch. And I think Jeff really came into his own in the past 2 years. So I think, like you said, with Brittany doing it more and more, she'll probably get better. But like I wanted somebody. I would have rather they just had somebody working right from their developing studio who's so excited and just be like,
a weird
you won't
move.
Yeah, right.
Like she's not a big personality where it's like, oh shit, they got this person that's
should have hired you, Mooch.
She's big. Well, the Mooch is always available.
They should have hired you.
I always put myself out there. Not a problem. I bring the enthusiasm. I try my best.
It's
But yeah,
Mooch saying, great.
Right, exactly, great.
like, you don't think it's great? I'm just yelling at the developer from like he's behind the camera.
You would have given a food analogy
Name the
too,
right
right?
way, and that's all I care
I probably
about.
would have been
because
eating in
as
front of the
a fellow
camera.
Brittany, she's all about the name spelling correctly.
Well, she's a big Nintendo fan too. You know what I mean?
She
She's
likes
big
whiskey.
in-
Like me.
I like that.
Whoa,
She does like
weird.
whiskey, and she's a big Nintendo fan. But yeah, absolutely. I thought that the show itself was decent. I thought it showed enough. But a lot of people I saw online were a little nervous and apprehensive about how the game is going to. They think that the game is going to be lackluster, not scary.
What?
Not yeah. They
What?
think yeah. I mean, this is a
What?
lot of the.
I don't
forums.
think it'll be scary because to me 7 wasn't scary, but 7 was an amazing game.
7.
So
It was
there
more
was-
of a psychological
yeah.
thriller.
There was nothing I saw that made me think that the game's not going to be good. So I don't know why anyone watching the show would be like, "Oh, this game's not going to be good."
Right.
Because to me,
I
there was
thought the
nothing
game
that.
looked fantastic.
Yeah, there's nothing that gave me that.
The only thing about the little showcase that I didn't like was a particular shot with the shotgun and one with it just looked wonky. And I'm like, what the hell? That didn't hit the target. Like but
Yeah.
it could have just been.
Oh
it could
yeah,
have
the
just been the way they
targeting was
filmed.
really poor.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah,
that.
right.
Whoever was
Why you
shooting in
repeat
that game.
And I'm like, wait a minute,
I've
wait,
heard from
I
some
love
people
Seven.
that they feel it looks
Seven.
like it. Criticism I'm hearing from people is that they feel that it looks like it's going a little bit more action oriented, and they're getting fucking PTSD of Resident Evil 6. So I don't know if that's entirely true.
No, I didn't get that.
That's a criticism I've seen.
I didn't really hate it. Like, I mean, it was different. It wasn't the same that I was used to, but I didn't hate it.
Seven was dope.
I like
like
7. I really like 7.
I feel
And I
like
wasn't
this
sure
is
how I was
7.
gonna feel with it going from third person to first person. I was like, yo, this is really different. And then even the trailers that we saw, I was like, this doesn't really look like it doesn't look like Resident Evil, but when you played it, that game felt like Resident Evil.
Because that's its natural controls.
Because the inventory system and shit just made it feel like Resident Evil. Inventory management and stuff.
Tank controls match naturally to a third person view. The only thing is that we used to do it through like pre-rendered, screens and shit.
Yeah, but see, when they did the remake of Resident Evil 1, they took the tank controls away, and that game's still amazing even without the tank controls.
But 7 is the tank controls. That's what I'm saying. 7 is tank controls.
Not really.
It is.
No,
it is.
No.
Can we talk about the weirdest fucking thing that happened during that whole preview? Is that Ubi Massive and Yannick, who is like one of the lead faces for the Division. Like, I come from a Division background. Like, I was huge in the Division community. Like, seeing Yannick up there and then being like, we're having a crossover with Division 2. I was like, what the fuck kind of bridge is this?
What was that?
That was
Right?
random.
Yeah.
Kind of random.
It was super random.
It was super random.
So fucking random. Like,
Wait,
where's
is it going to
connection?
be? Is there a
Where's
mission
the
or is it just?
connection?
what the fuck just happened?
Is there
I
a
don't know,
mission
I was
lady or is it just a uniform?
Skins.
It's just it's like it's
I think it's
skins.
just uniforms. I honestly
Cosmetics.
was so dumbstruck. Like, I was like, no, that's Yannick. Like, I know Yannick. Like, I know him, and I'm like, why is he on this Resident Evil?
like, how'd you get
shit?
here?
What is fucking happening?
What are you doing here?
What the hell are you doing here?
What's going on?
Erica, Gears would have been a better tie-in, in my opinion.
Gear?
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
It was just
Gear-
a fucking
listen, the
weird
last thing-
overall thing.
The last thing Gears needs is any more special guests showing up on that
Right.
video game,
Not
right?
telling-
I felt
You're
like the
telling me.
showcase was
Right?
it felt really short, and it felt like it didn't, like you said, it didn't show much. But to me, it really didn't show anything different than what we've already seen in the
Yeah,
past. Like, I was expecting this kind of
God,
more
fair,
or
right.
new, and it just kind of felt like the trailers we already saw. Like, I hadn't seen, there was nothing new that I hadn't seen before in that trailer, except for I think maybe the vampire lady.
Oh,
That was about
Oh
it.
yeah, those
you
hot
ain't-
ass bitches. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you ain't see the 15 minutes of pre-order this, pre-order that.
Oh,
yeah.
You
that
gotta
was
look
yeah,
at
on
those
the
collector
edition.
editions.
Collector edition,
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
mean, look-
look,
Let's just keep it real. It was an infomercial. That's what it was.
that's all it was. Just
That's
know?
what most of these are these
Yeah.
days, though. Like, when you're coming in and they're like gonna like, oh, we have this special event. Everybody get hyped for it, and we're all hyped for it for fucking like weeks beforehand, and then it happens, and we're like, well, fuck. Like,
Yeah.
That was it. real short.
like,
Well,
I
don't
just,
forget,
I
you know-
fucking miss E3. That's just where
Well,
I'm at.
I was
at
gonna
this
say,
point.
so
Yeah.
lady, I
Like,
miss
fuck
I
it.
miss
Great
E3
point.
too, but I think you know what's funny? Nostalgia is a hell of a drug. You guys know that, right? So what happens is we're a couple of years removed from, or 1 year removed from E3. Sony hasn't been there in a few. But we think that if you go back and watch, I dare anybody, go back and watch E3 2018 or 2017 when they were both there. You got to remember, there was a good amount of that 90 minutes where you could have made a sandwich, left the room, maybe went out and took a walk.
no,
Like-
but I
Like,
think
remember when
E3
PlayStation came on and did the drums
Oh,
for like
yeah,
fucking 10
absolutely.
minutes, and you were just like, what the fuck
Like,
is
what is
happening?
this? So
That
That
was-
E3,
yeah, but that
that
was for God
E3
of War,
where
man. That was
that-
E3 was the shit. That was
that
2016.
E3 where Sony wasn't there, that E3
Right.
where Sony wasn't there, that was a really terrible E3.
Yes.
So I don't miss E3. I don't have any nostalgia for it. I think
No,
Yeah.
but
that
the thing,
the last couple
I
of
do.
years
I
were
love fucking
awful.
No,
E3.
the
I mean,
thing with
it's a
E3 though
fucking
is that you
event
had
for
this
me.
one event for Xbox and PlayStation where it was just this one thing, and you watched it for an hour plus, and it was all these games and all this other shit, and it was cool. But now, because they don't have to get all that shit in at one time,
Yeah.
we get drip fed fucking some shit here,
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
shit there. and it's-
exactly. It's like, here, having
whatever the
fucking
fuck,
random.
I think the summer of games is still going on.
It
It's so
probably
weird.
is.
It's been the summer of summers of
I think that's the problem
it's been
is
84 years.
now that they
Even-
don't
even
have
the
to
summer
do
of
that.
gaming wasn't like that great.
They
I was
are.
like,
They're just dripping
It was
us
a weird
stuff
year.
now,
I mean,
Yeah.
which is
we
odd.
had pandemic. It was just a
like
weird
I
year,
think it's
you know?
just nice for these companies to have had a deadline. It's like, yo, if you want to show your shit, this is the date you got to have it ready by, and it's all being shown at this date That's it.
I could be wrong,
No,
but I bet Xbox
prefer-
does a show. Go ahead, Luca.
I prefer them drip feeding us information and having various shows because it gives us stuff to talk about throughout the year. After E3, it's kind of dead for a long time.
Like
so-
as a content creator, it's
I mean,
great.
if you're
right?
not like looking
We
at
keep getting these
hacks and
small
the shit that's in between.
we keep getting these small things, and all of them are like lackluster. Like I don't think I've ever I haven't seen a single thing in the last couple of years, like an event from either side, from PlayStation or Xbox or anything else, where I was like, oh, that was really great. I haven't seen anything in a while that was great. Me personally, I don't know how you guys feel.
I've enjoyed the last couple, like Sony's the last event that they had right before they bamboozled us at the end of the show by us not knowing whether or not certain games like Demon Souls would be on PC or not.
Yeah,
I like that show. So
The deep dives, the deep dives
I
into
really like my
Demon
Nintendo
Souls and all
Direct.
that. It's good.
Yeah, I think that the last one I saw that I enjoyed was the reveal trailer for the console, but that's only because they revealed the console. If you had taken the console reveal off of the end of that, it was just like a okay conference, you know?
Yeah. Crap, you got something?
You know what? I keep thinking back on like what would E3 have been this year? Like I try to wrap my head around like what it could have been with all of the fucking news that's come
I
out.
honestly think there was, I think
crazy.
there's a lot of game announcements that both sides are just holding on to, and they're waiting to drop. You know, it's fucking bombs here or bombs there. They're just holding on to shit because they don't have an E3 where they have to show it. So they're waiting for the other side to show their hand.
That's the part that's a good point.
It's been like
if there was an E3,
the Wild West. It's the Wild West of gaming days.
Ragnarok is coming out in
crazy.
2021. If there was an E3 last year, we would have seen a fucking God of War Ragnarok trailer or demo.
I've heard Sony's supposed to do something towards end of Q1, showing some other titles that they have behind the scenes. It's supposed to be like a big AAA game, another exclusive. Rumors are that could be like a Metal Gear remake or the Silent Hill, but there's supposed to be
I've been
rumor,
hearing that story for fucking
years.
Man. Silent Hills is coming.
Yeah,
Metal Gear remake's coming, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
I think the Metal Gear thing, from what I understand, is happening. There's supposed to be, and there's also rumor a Bloodborne remaster or something like that's supposed to happen. But I mean,
they've been saying that for years.
Yeah, I've been saying that, but apparently it's supposed to be some kind of Sony thing end of Q1. So we'll see.
We've been hearing Metal Gear remake by Blue Point is what we keep hearing. Then we keep hearing Silent Hills are being remade. I mean, these are both Konami, and Konami are fucking bitches. So
I heard SOCOM's have been in development for like 3 years now.
Well, those are the rumors before. Luca,
I didn't hear what Luca said.
I didn't hear what Luca said either.
We've heard those rumors about SOCOM and Metal Gear now for quite
years,
some time.
Man.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's false. It's the old, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
It's possible. And we see what Blue Point's strengths are. Look what to see what Blue Point did with Demon Souls is just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah,
so it really is, Eric.
Their engine though, because they have it where they have the old game underneath the new game simultaneously, and they, like they said, they strip away all the shit that's not essential to what the game is, and they make sure that core shit is there, and then they go and they make everything else really nice.
I tell you what they did with
it's amazing.
What they did with Demon Souls is just wow. And even that, if you haven't played Shadow of the Colossus,
amazing.
I mean, that is
unbelievable too.
That is unbelievable, considering like how we talk about tank controls. That game on the PS2?
Yes, absolutely. But I'm glad I waited to play that one for the remake. I didn't play that originally.
Mooch, it was really like
tough,
aggressive for its time,
right?
like on the PS2. And the remake just really
there was a couple of times with some of the giants that you had to fight that I literally had to go to YouTube with. I was like, where's the other pressure point where you hit this dude?
Yeah.
I'm looking all around, and meanwhile you can only look around for so long before you get squashed like a grape. You know what I mean?
He shakes you off.
Yeah,
The game was
here.
The game was gorgeous, though. It's one of those just kind of jaw drop.
And the music and everything.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
No,
music is just such a big thing to me in games. Like that's
facts.
It's a huge thing. I was on
music and sound design makes or breaks.
Oh my god!
I fucking hate it when like a music starts up into like a moment where I'm like, why the fuck is this music playing right now?
I like the Souls games, like the Souls boss battle music.
When I was on Scumcast right after the New Year, Luca did a segment on music, and we literally spent, Luca, you probably remember, we did like 45 minutes going through the different like tracks that really, really kind of hold, like myself personally, when it was my turn, I mean, Death Stranding, whether you like the game or not, I mean, the soundtrack to Death Stranding is amazing.
Yes.
You
so
know,
good.
And you are right. And everyone that just kind of, you guys say these games, and then all of a sudden, I can, as you say the title, I hear the music, I hear the sounds, I hear everything
too,
that you guys are talking about. So it does play a major part. That's why it's nice to see these game awards.
I
right?
mean, Aerith's theme song from Final Fantasy VII is iconic.
You love, Brap is
Take John Williams' theme off of Jurassic Park or Star Wars or fucking Harry Potter and tell me those movies are just as good without John Williams' score.
That's so
not
true.
gonna.
No, I agree with that. Yeah,
it changes the whole thing.
Fantastic.
The whole dynamic changes.
Yeah, the music is very important for the atmosphere and it to capture, like you guys are talking about boss fights, and like that's what makes some boss fights so much better. Like,
Souls boss fights, right, Erica?
Oh my
even
God.
the suspense leading up to it, it's like a fucking. I mean,
Like,
that's what
it's a
draws us
whole-
in as
Souls?
gamers.
Oh
like
my
you're
God.
creating
When
that
you-
fucking.
Like,
The
world.
minute you walk into that,
RE2 Remake had really good sound design to make shit really tense in RE2 Remake.
Yeah.
that is true.
Imagine if Halo didn't have the right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be. It would be.
Thank you for that
Oh,
acapella,
like,
Brap.
Fuck
Yeah.
Halo. No.
Like it wouldn't be Halo, right?
Like
No.
rap, even when I fired up Gears 2, we call it the GOAT. When you fire up that first
Yes,
music,
yeah.
that intro music, that menu screen, it's like
Or
a
fucking
whole
Skyrim.
vibe. It's a
Skyrim. When I
whole
first
vibe.
booted up Skyrim, I
true.
sat through the entire fucking Skyrim theme before I started the goddamn game because the
so
music is just so fucking
You
good.
say that, but that's what I used to do. Like when I would play Halo, I would literally turn it on
Oh,
and
yeah.
just leave it
With the
on the
guitars.
start screen and let it play
Those
that thing
guitars
over and
fucking
over.
kick in the Halo too.
Right? While you get your like snack you're gonna eat or your drink ready or whatever. I was
Oh my
remember I
god, are
was
you
like,
eating snacks with your controller? My lord.
no, actually not the I'm not a Dorito and controller.
But you got
person.
snacks in your
I
controller?
might have
What
no.
would you do?
That would be really an invention that people should look into. But like maybe pretzels. Pretzels are okay.
Great.
All right,
You can have a
pretzels. I
pretzel.
don't like them, but I'll give it to you.
All right, thank you. I had to really, really think hard about that one.
How about mozzarella sticks, Mooch?
No,
Oh,
no.
mozzarella sticks are my shit.
Well,
good.
no, they're great. They're
Little,
great.
little marinara? Come on, Mooch.
Oh, you can't get marinara on a controller.
No, you can't.
You really should.
Especially not the dual sense.
No.
No.
Shout out to
The,
Face23 in the chat. He says Sony raised the price of their games to $69 and Microsoft raised the price of Xbox Live Gold services. Choose which is the lesser evil. Face says that, and that was another topic, not to kind of jump back and forth, but I will say that, when you move to $69 a title, let's remember something too. I have to always remind people this because we have to step back, take yourself out of the hardcore for a second, and think about this for a moment. We all say, oh, we're going to play this, and I'm going to play this, and I can't wait to play that. We're going to play the next game. We play everything, or for the most part.
Right.
But most people pick and
buy it
choose.
all. Do I
right?
play it?
But
Well, yeah.
those
Right,
are also
lady.
two very, very different things because the cost for games is going to go up because the cost for developing games has gone up exponentially over the last 10, 20 years. And the cost of games really hasn't gone up. It's actually gone down from the N64 era. So the cost of games going up, I understand as a consumer, okay, these games cost a hell of a lot more money to develop. If the games go up $10, I'd rather a game cost more at the starting point, like charge me an extra $10 than have fucking a bajillion dollars worth of microtransactions and bullshit in the game to try to recoup the money that you're not making, right?
No, Supernova, you're not going to get away with
but
that.
the developers,
Guys,
like
can
that
I,
better.
Go ahead,
Can I
Luca.
ask-
No, but okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
No, I was just saying that
Luca.
it's different than raising the price
I'm
of
gonna go get beer.
Xbox Live. because
Hey,
all that
ladies
money's
first.
going
Ladies
to
first.
Xbox.
Go ahead,
Go ahead
Luca.
and finish my point.
Well, no, I'm just gonna leave. That's all.
Oh, Luca.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
Oh,
guys,
come on,
I have
Luca.
Luca,
Luca,
said
you gotta
she-
go?
Well, she told me she was like, I gotta go. I'm not gonna be here forever.
I thought she was like, Supernova, shut the fuck up. I'm out.
No. My mic is always really weird on Discord, so I was just gonna go.
Oh, you sound fine.
Luca, I can't wait for
it's like-
Scumcast tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm really excited about it too. And Lady and Supernova, it was really nice to be on a show with both of you. I got to get you on Scumcast sometimes if either of you are free on a Saturday.
I'm always free, so anytime.
Awesome, but yeah, no, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna go. Also, I don't really think there's like the whole which is the lesser evil sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still they're both evil. They're evil corporations.
Fact. That is the correct answer.
Like, I
Great
need
answer.
I need people to stop acting like their preferred corporation is better. They're really not. At the end of the day, they don't care about you. They don't care about us at all. We are walking, talking dollar sign to them. So
Facts.
the whole this is not
Yes.
a PlayStation versus Xbox thing in regards to Xbox Live increasing. This is a Xbox as a corporation is evil, and so is Sony. So
and they're just
Right.
they're setting the that they can both set their claws into you, and both of them put their meat hooks into you, and all of them do what they do. That's just the way it transpires.
No, Luca's right.
The way business works.
I'll tell you, BitCloud actually just tweeted out too. He said he was so happy to see so many people take a stance on this together. So, shout out to BitCloud, who does a great show before this show. You know what I mean? But like Luca's right. Like, we all kind of say this, and it is. Don't get me wrong. It's Luca has a show. I have a show. We talk about it, but Luca's right. Ultimately, at the end of it, it's just one makes a move and the other company reacts. And then we as consumers decide which one is the better way for you and your wallet and your family.
That's always the way it is. One company does it, another company goes, oh shit, they're making money doing that? Well, fuck, let's go.
It's just like, as me and Mooch like to talk about #courage, Samsung was too quick to make fun of Apple without having that headphone jack. And they're like, we still have our brick in our phone, and now they have neither.
They have neither.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
They removed expandable storage. They don't have the brick in the box. There's no headphone jack. It's all the same shit.
They saw one do it. They saw one get away with it. And they're like, guess what? We can do that too.
That's what they all do, bro.
That's what they do. They follow the money trail.
But that there is why having these conversations and letting Microsoft know that we're not really excited about that, because we don't want them to open the door for Sony and Nintendo, because Nintendo's $20 a year and $35 for a family. They're going to go up to $50, right? Everything goes up. Yeah. Like, and don't get me wrong. Listen, inflation, milk, gas, bread, everything will go up. But when we all woke up this morning, like Luca said just a moment ago, or earlier,
I miss bread.
She's like, I legitimately, me too. She goes, I got to be honest with you. She goes, I woke up and she's like, I had a fit. And it's like, to be honest with you, the reason that she said that is, as a consumer, she's right. Like, to go from 59 to 119 or 120, that's double in 24 hours. That's just an amazing jump.
A 200% increase is steep as fuck.
Just take it $5 a year or something, like
especially in the middle of a pandemic.
Yeah.
That's the part that's like,
if they want to earn goodwill and get more people into Game Pass, why don't they just fucking eliminate Xbox Live Gold, reduce the cost of Game Pass, and say this is where you get Xbox Live now?
Just merge it.
Yeah.
They should have been doing that.
That's all they got to do. Drop the price of Game Pass.
Erica, drop the paywall.
Yeah,
because
that free to play.
And now anybody that had Xbox Live before is going to get Game Pass because they don't have a fucking option. But the price is reduced, so it's not like they're being bent over a barrel. Boom! Now you've got everybody in fucking Game Pass, and mission accomplished. I don't understand why they just fucking don't do that.
Yeah,
they're not confident in their product. That's why they don't do that. They can't say you come
Luca,
to this.
Luca, you can't leave apparently. Luca's like, I gotta go. Peace.
Bye, Luca.
Bye.
Shout out to Luca. Luca's got Scumcast tomorrow, 4 p.m.
Yes.
Eastern. Are you doing it 3 p.m. Central?
Uh-huh.
All right,
yes,
guys.
I am.
Check out
Thank
Luca's
you so
channel.
much for having me. I really, really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun with you guys, a lot of energy, which is what I love to see. I hate podcasts where people are like, there's 60 people on the panel and like no one is saying anything and there's dead air. It's
Dead
like
air
a
is the worst.
triggering point for me. So I love the energy. So thanks so much for having me. I had a really good time. I'll catch you guys later.
All right,
Bye,
Luca.
Luca, take care.
Good night, Luca. Thank you for being here.
Mooch, you gotta let Lady back in.
Oh, lady. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Lady's back. I got to be honest with you. Discord is just something that like, it's got some of its conveniences, but it can be an utter pain. And I know like Brap and Luca use different software, which now that I got my new microphone, I can go on Brap and I can go on Scumcast. I can now go on there. But the other one, I had a hard time. And I think, Brap, didn't you say also, was it Slow-Mo that had a hard time with the microphone as well with that software you use?
Oh, you're talking about with Streamer? No, it was just you, Mooch.
Oh, thanks.
It was just you. Hey, Mooch, just like the Mets, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna say somebody cue "It's the Mets" song that was. But anyway, it's always a me problem. But I got a couple super chats here real quick. I want to read. I got Sir X-Man. He says, "Why can't I get a remake or remaster of the PS2 classic Extermination? It was like Resident Evil style game, and the ending was absolutely incredible." Shout out to Midway 7 Monster. He says, okay, Sir X-Man, we all know you want a remaster of Extermination. Chi-Town Baby. Must be Chicago. They're both Chicago born. That's correct. Director Productions is a major VIP Mooch Maniac, by the way. Outstanding to have director here. He says Resident Evil 8 demo on PS5 will equal a huge win for Sony. It definitely... So here's the thing. So I want to comment on what director just said there, because we just made a good point. Erica, you said when you're playing a game, sometimes the score and the music... they're just, you can't picture one without the other. I think also Supernova said that as well when he named a few games. Well, I gotta say that's the same exact thing that I gotta agree with director. When you do something with a timed content, right? Sometimes when you say, okay, this is same thing with like Destiny did. Lady gave the example earlier. When you have timed content, whether it be a demo or a mission, or I can't say so much with like skins or something like that, it puts a place in your mind as the customer, right? And you're like, oh, that game is on PlayStation 5, right? So I think if you own both consoles, or if you're deciding which console to get, you might go, well, I'm a huge Resident Evil nut, and it's seemingly that they have more content over there, even if it's just more a demo and maybe a skin, I'll go buy it over there. I mean, is that true? I mean, does that maybe help the case a little bit with why Sony's thinking about all these third-party deals? I mean, that's what he's saying, and I think that helps.
Yeah, that's a big
for
deal.
casuals. Yeah, because the casuals are going to associate these games with these consoles. They're not like us. We understand it's just a fucking time thing. It's bullshit. But for casuals, they don't know. They see this thing associate with that console, and that's it. That's the end of the story. And that's the intention. That's why they do these things.
Yeah, it makes sense for them to. Sorry, bro. I was just going to say, because with 360, you remember they had the Call of Duty stuff and all that. And we associated it with, Xbox. At least a lot of us did. And you'd get the maps first. That was a big deal. Huge deal. And now things are flipping and Sony's being the aggressor.
It was a huge deal to see them to jump ship from Xbox to PlayStation in the last generation, where PlayStation now got all the maps and got, the even with Bungie, they got the exclusive strikes and exclusive weapons and skins.
But that's because Sony was paying for it.
Yeah, but Xbox, they just didn't want to go out. That's why I don't understand. Like, you have the money, right? Go out and fucking do these things. Go get these time exclusives. They don't want to go out and do it.
They didn't feel they had to anymore. They took their fan base for granted.
They got.
But I don't understand when you're getting your ass kicked and getting outsold over 2-1 with your box. Go do something. I don't understand why they don't do something.
Yeah, the other thing too is that like outside of like just appeasing the cat or kind of associating certain brands for the casuals, it also keeps people locked into the ecosystem or the platform. Like it's almost like, hey, you know what? We're going to reward you for investing in our console with this, exclusive content or this exclusive demo. So people are like, you know what? Sony's looking out for me. Like they got demos, they got, DLC. I mean, this is why these companies do these things, not just for the casuals.
I still hate it. I hate the exclusivity. I hate it. Like as a gamer, I hate it.
It's funny. So I mean, Lady, I love exclusivity. Lady, I gotta be honest with you. And maybe it's just, I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. And I have friends of mine that say that all the time to me personally. They're like, I just can't stand when something's exclusive to something. I mean,
do you hate it? Do you hate exclusivity or timed exclusivity? Because that's two different things.
I think she means exclusivity.
You mean exclusivity or time?
Completely. Like timed is still like, it still makes me a little
salty. Oh, you hate outright exclusivity?
Outright exclusivity.
Oh no, we're gonna disagree on that.
No, the only reason I say I get it.
Yeah,
for like Xbox and stuff. Timed is probably worse.
Not Xbox. I mean, it's anything. I mean, why isn't the Big Mac at Burger King? I mean,
we always make that out.
Yeah, it's in everything.
I mean, but then every other fucking thing out there came out with their own version of a fucking Big Mac.
But same thing happened here, right? You've got Xbox and PlayStation.
Mooch food analogy.
Well, I'm starving to death, but like that's a me problem. But you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. I think that when you have exclusivity, it's what we were just talking about with Apple, right? I remember I got the very first iPhone, and everybody that I worked with was like, "That's garbage. Oh, you're gonna drop that thing, break the glass. Oh, I prefer the flip up little typewriter thing." I'm like, "What? Like, what are you talking about?" Like the point of the matter is, like, if there's no like iPhone just with Apple, there's no like means to compete. Like you have to have exclusivity. It's important. That's why when the PC crowd's always like, everything should just be everywhere. Like, well, not really. You know what I mean? It's great that the PC's I think of the PC like the mall, right? Everything's there. Eventually.
It's God tier mall.
Because I'm drunk and it's gatekeeping that kills me. It's the gatekeeping that fucking kills me. I'm sorry.
If there were not exclusive games, then there's no reason to have multiple consoles. I don't need a PlayStation. I don't need an Xbox. I don't need a Switch. I just need the one box that plays everything.
And that's called a PC.
Nintendo has got away with not having like their games on anything forever. Like they're just like, we're Nintendo and we're gonna do what the fuck we want to do. So
that's the thing. Their fans support them, but that's the same thing with anything,
Right.
Ford is not gonna freaking make Chevys. They're not gonna make Volkswagens. They're just gonna make Fords because they're Ford.
Halo Craig made a good point in the chat. Halo Craig.
I like BMW. Throw that out there.
Well, he says third-party exclusivity is bad. First-party exclusivity is necessary, and I think that's an interesting. But that's something that's
interesting.
That would spark a debate where, lady, you might be able to get me to meet you in the middle there.
I can do that. Like
That's
that's different. If you're doing, like I said, like I'm gonna go back on my first statement where I said like it's the timed exclusives and the like fucking gatekeeping content that really kills me. The Spider-Man shit, I'm like, oh, that left a salty taste in my mouth. I'm like, oh, that's kind of fucking lame, but is what it is. The demos, things like that, I'm like, I just don't get it. I get it as a business person, but as a consumer, I'm like, it's kind of fucked up in a way. But then you go back to the Xbox games with Call of Duty and shit, like, and I didn't care then.
Yeah.
So I guess maybe I'm just a fucking hypocritical bitch.
No. Lady.
So, lady, what you're saying, if it's on your platform of choice, it's okay.
Right.
You're saying you're an Xbox.
No.
Yeah, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
I don't know.
truth serum has kicked in.
Get it.
So,
I get
yeah,
it,
the
but,
truth
like,
serum.
I don't.
So-
I get it, but I don't.
So if
get it.
Xbox gets a 2-year DLC exclusive agreement with Bungie for Destiny, you're gonna be like, okay, this is awesome.
No, it's just like all the PlayStation exclusives that came out and were getting nominated for Game of the Year and shit, and the Xbox are like, yo, fucking exclusives suck. Exclusives are garbage. The game should be on everything. And then Xbox acquired ZeniMax, and they're like, we're getting fucking exclusives. Doom's gonna be exclusive.
And I'm totally against that
This game's
too,
gonna be
because
exclusive.
I love Bethesda. I don't want them to be exclusive, and because I think that's fucked. I just think that's fucked up. Bethesda's a great company. Everybody should be able to fucking enjoy that where they want to fucking enjoy that.
Yes. I agree with you. And I think that's kind of why the Bethesda
agreed,
acquisition is something different, right? Supernova, it's a different situation. I think you have a situation where Fallout 4 is on everything, right? So you can't really Fallout 5, I truly believe Fallout 5. That's why they said the one thing of all the things we talked about tonight, and we're like, Xbox said this and Xbox said that, and Xbox said, the one thing you have to take away from what Xbox said with the ZeniMax purchase was it's a case-by-case basis. That's the most important thing I picked up out of it. And the main reason is Fallout 5, I believe, will be everywhere. Maybe it'll be on Xbox for 6 months before PlayStation gets it, but that'll be everywhere. But when you take a game like Starfield that's not been anywhere, it's a new IP, that could possibly be an Xbox exclusive.
No, because Starfield's already in development, and they already said that games that are currently in development are already going to be on every platform. But I think that if it's a game that's already an established IP that's been on other consoles, I think 100% they'll stay multiplayer. I think there's a better chance that if they create a new IP that has never touched any console before, that IP will be exclusive.
Yes.
I think that there's a good chance.
I can agree with that.
I
Yeah.
have a
And that's what I said
question.
from the very beginning was that new IPs, I can see that being exclusive.
Yes.
I don't think that old.
I have a question for Lady. I have a question for Lady because I know you're a little tipsy right now. So
Microsoft didn't acquire.
Truth serum.
Truth serum.
Truth serum, here we come. Okay, so I know you're against you're against exclusivity, right? Are you saying you would have wanted Halo and Gears on PlayStation?
Oh, I would have been totally fine with that. Like personally,
Bullshit.
I don't fucking
but
care.
no,
I don't care if you're gonna enjoy it. Enjoy it.
But you got to think about what you're saying. Would Xbox be anything without those exclusives?
Oh, absolutely not. No.
Yeah, see, so
Right.
it's like
especially because PlayStation is never going to put their games on fucking Xbox. That's never going to happen. So
Right.
you're going to
No,
have
there's
now.
not.
Now PlayStation has Halo,
But
Gears,
could you
Forza,
imagine
and
a world
all the
where I could
PlayStation
play
games.
Mario on my Xbox?
Yeah, it's called PC.
No, it's
there you go.
called Utopia. I think like there's
Right,
just a-
Erica? PC, right? Run a little emulator?
Oh.
It's called emulators, yeah.
Isn't
Right?
it the
I
Raspberry
guess I
thing
do
or whatever
have
the hell it's
that.
called?
I'm telling you, PC's I'm telling you, everyone don't
Brap
sleep
is
on.
like PC Master Race. always.
Exactly,
I'm
It
telling you.
brings me back to it. And I'm like, you're right.
Yeah.
That's why I fucking bought
We
a
always
PC.
come
You're
back.
correct.
Brap.
Trickle back.
So let me go, lady. This is a different subject, but I do want to bring it up because me and you were talking about it a while ago, and now here we are. You never know. Microsoft's not really doing a hell of a job promoting it, but we're 7 days away or so from, or I think less now, from the medium.
The medium.
Right? And
Yeah,
I know that
medium.
a lot of guys on the 4 crew are very excited
Game of the year.
about it. Easy prep.
Oh Lord.
It's game of the year.
Did you play fucking Blair Witch?
It's Blooper T. Oh,
Yeah.
yes, right. Never mind.
Yeah.
So I'm back to reality
Yeah,
again. I'm sorry.
You're right. A lot of
Do you think it's?
of them are excited about it.
Do you think now? What's your feelings on it? Do you think it's gonna hold your attention for long?
I personally think that game is going to be a great game for what it is.
Right.
it's going to be a story-based game. They've already
Yeah.
said they're going with story over action. That's not
Absolutely.
my type of game. I'm not there for the story. I mean, sometimes I do. Sometimes I am. But I just feel like it's going to be more.
It's going to be what the Xbox people say they hate, and it's going to be a walking sim is what it's going to be. It's going to be really slow walking,
I'm worried about
shifting
that.
between the two realities to solve puzzles, which there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's going to be a cool game.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to be a game.
For
And I don't think it's going to be a crazy game. Like I think it's going to be one of those games that gets like a 70%, 70-something percent, 7 on Metacritic, where it's a decent experience, but it's not a Gears of War.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 90 Metacritic on that one.
Perhaps do not bet anybody.
I'm not betting anyone. I'm just saying.
No, please don't though.
Greatness is. Oh wait, that's the wrong console. I said greatness. Let me stop. Look, people are like,
I just caught that.
People are gonna be like, oh, you're a pony. You hate Xbox. I do have a Series X in my house, by the way, that I only use to play Destiny 2. So,
oh man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? So Josh raised in the chat. He says, "Mooch, what will do better, Medium or Destruction All Stars?" You know, it's so. Let's. You know, it's a great question though because we don't really talk about it. I think
I don't see
Destruction
All Stars being amazing either. I
well,
think it's going to be like
no Supernova though. Let me be really honest with you. This is giving me Rocket League. Vibes.
Yeah.
And you sit there and I agree with you. Like I like Rocket League, aka soccer cars. I think it's decent, okay? But I never bought into the whole hype of that game. But
it's so good, Mooch.
It's huge. Yeah. It's massive.
It's so good.
Now it's in like esports. Listen, this Destruction All Stars can take that route and take off and go that way, or it can just be meh. You know what I mean?
I think it's more like meh, like the Mets.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Destruction All Stars for me feels
the
like
Jets.
Feels like Rocket League
Not a
and
Jets
Bleeding
fan.
Edge and a baby is what it feels like to me. And I don't know, man. Like they haven't shown us enough of the game. They keep showing us these little quick, sizzle reel trailers where we don't really get to see gameplay. It's these weird kind of cinematic shots. I still have no idea what the fuck that game is, dude. Other than it's got cars in it. That's all I know. I don't know what you do or how you play.
But then again, when you're talking about games like Fall Guys and you're talking about Rocket League and you're talking about these games that are
but Fall Guys and Rocket League, you can see 2 seconds of the game, you go, okay, Fall Guys is I got to get to the end to win, and Rocket League is it's soccer but with cars. What is Destruction All Stars?
I don't. It's almost like Twisted Metal meets Rocket League. I have no idea.
That's what it looks like to me. Like Twisted Metal meets like Rocket League.
Weren't we talking about the Medium, bro?
Oh yeah, sorry about that. That's how quick. That's how quick the Medium might go by everybody.
No, but the Medium again, just like with Destruction All Stars, the Medium hasn't to me shown me anything. Like they showed a really cool cinematic trailer with like the but as far as
the Medium is this, bro. The Medium is this, bro. The Medium is a Plague's Tale type of game. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those
Plague's Tale was good.
I love Plague's Tale. I do. And that's what I think the Medium is going to be like. It's just going to be
the Medium is a perfect game
little puzzle solving, these little
That's the game. I could not put my finger on what the game that reminded me most of what I saw from the gameplay footage. It's a Plague's Tale. Because a Plague's Tale wasn't action either. You know what I mean? But it was
But it was an awesome little puzzle.
Yeah, it was puzzles, interaction. Yeah, you interacted with this and it affected that.
A great story that was well acted.
Because that's all I've seen from the Medium is just shifting between the realities to solve puzzles. That's what.
But that's actually a very interesting concept to like have that duality there on screen.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the one thing that kind of interests me.
Good for what it is. I don't know if it's really the type of game that I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
Per se, but I think that it's going to be good. Like I genuinely think that it's going to be a fucking good game. I just don't think it's going to be a good game for me. Just like Hitman. Like Hitman's not my fucking game. There's people out there who are like, I want to fucking dry hump this game, and I'm like,
I tried playing Hitman 2.
What?
And I couldn't get into it. I tried playing it again recently. I still can't get into it.
People are dry humping the game.
Yeah, I'm confused by that comment too.
So confused right now.
I don't like Hitman, and I hope that 007 game that they're gonna make is.
Well, let me ask Erica. Erica, let me go to you with this. I got to be honest with you. What Supernova just said and what Lady just said kind of resonate with me with Hitman. Like I've seen everybody talking about it, and I'm at a point right now where we all know this time of year. We all know that we get really spoiled around the holidays, right? There's all the new games that come out between October and December. That's great. And then we hit January, and January's especially us up anywhere in cold weather. It's cold, it's long, it's dreary, it's this, it's that, it's boring. And then we just start clamoring for anything. I'm seeing people play Hitman, and I'm seeing numbers like 8.5, 9 out of 10. And I'm not saying that the game doesn't deserve that. I'm just saying, like, it's Hitman. You know what I mean? Like, even they'll tell you, the people that are reviewing it, giving it 9s and 10s, they're like, well, it's just like Hitman 2. I didn't like
Just
Hitman
more
2.
Hitman.
I'm just more bored now, so it's great. And I'm like, what? Like, it's
so dry. This is
Isn't
what
it?
I call this
That's
is
true,
the
that's true,
term.
bro.
No, give me the goods.
you know?
This is what I call default games. You guys ever hear that term thrown around?
No, but
do.
I know where you're
And
going,
that's what
and I
this
like
is
it.
about. It's so dry that you're just gonna play a game by default. That's really what
Yes.
it is. And I've never really been into Hitman. I played Hitman Go. I don't know if you guys know that.
I remember
game.
Hitman Go.
Mobile.
It sounds like
actually-
yeah.
That game's actually fun and challenging. I like that. But as far as the stealth stuff, I like stealth, but not that
Not
much.
that
I'm
much
not
stealth.
big into that.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
like
I
Hitman 2.
don't like
Cool.
Hitman
Now,
stuff.
see, I love stealth games, but Hitman is just a slow,
Yes, I hate it.
fucking
I
Yeah.
hate that.
annoying game.
It's
And like
never...
the whole thing about Hitman is it's not a fun game to play. They're not amazing games. It's how many different ways can you accomplish the task? That's its big thing, right? How many different ways can you accomplish a task? Did you kill this guy? Did you poison this guy? Did you pretend to be this guy? How did you do it? That's their big thing. But the thing is, in doing it, it's not fun for me. It's not fun to do it. So I don't give a fuck
Yeah,
how
see,
many
right.
ways there are to do it.
I like that.
So-
like I
I
played
agree.
Like,
I played-
it's gonna not gonna
Splinter
be for
Cell.
everybody.
like I played Splinter Cell, and Splinter Cell's kind of like that, like
Yeah.
different ways to approach missions and stuff. I
Nah,
like
but
that.
Splinter Cell
But Splinter
doesn't
Cell,
dope, though, bro.
the
Splinter Cell
gameplay
doesn't
plays
dope.
much better.
Yeah, Hitman does not do it well.
Well,
bro.
wait.
Hitman
No.
does not do it.
Erica,
Splinter
what did
Cell
you
at
what did you
all.
call that? What was the term you used for that game?
Default.
a default game.
So the other default game,
Kind of like
which-
Gears 5, Erica.
Wow!
Oh, don't you
Wow! Wow!
This man Brad, but he hates so much on the new Gears. Like I get it because Gears
Come on,
definitely.
Erica. You
But
get
listen.
it, Erica. You get it though. Like you
Of
were
course.
around on the 360 when Gears hit. Come on, that
I
was
just
like
recently, you guys know Crowbat, right? He did that Cyberpunk video showing all the bugs and everything.
Yeah,
Well, he
bugs,
did
yeah,
a
yeah.
video about a year ago about Gears, the devolving of the attention to detail. And I watched that on my stream. I actually reacted to it recently and I was like, holy crap. Like when you see it side by side, original Gears and new Gears, it's just night and day.
It's
so
night
Brad,
and
I'm
day.
with you. I get
Like-
it. I'm with you. I still love Gears. It's, it's my heart, but
I get it.
I can see where
Nostalgia,
you're coming
like
from.
Mooch does.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see where
yeah.
you're coming from.
And not to derail
Right.
this conversation with Gears, but like Erica, it's just a different game. And I think like I'm glad
Yeah.
that you played it like on the 360 because you have an appreciation for it. A lot of people, I
Mhm.
don't think, unless they've gone back and played it now with like through Back and Pat, it just hits different. And I don't know if it's because it's missing Cliffy B,
Mhm.
but there's just something missing right now in Gears 5.
Now
And
you're
I-
not going to have
Watch
Rod,
that
and you're not going to have
video.
Cliffy. So
Watch that Crowbat video, and
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
watch it,
think-
yeah.
you're gonna chalk it up to Cliffy. Cliffy was a big part of it.
Cliffy, let me tell you, Cliffy might be an a-hole to some people, but the guy he's got pedigree. I mean, unreal.
That's when Gears
Gears.
was great.
Bad.
bro. That's when Gears was great.
What were you gonna say though, Mooch? What's
what
the
I was
other
going to say
default-
was when you said that, what is it called? Default
default
Default,
games? Yeah.
default games. The one that
Xbox
reminds
Game
me of,
Pass.
and again, it's the same thing. It's the same thing that goes with Hitman. You remember the game Thief? Like everybody was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh
Oh my
God,
Lord.
Oh, I like
Thief.
Thief.
It
I
looks
like
great.
Thief, Mooch.
Come on, it's terrible."
That's
No,
That's slander.
I picked up
bad.
Thief when it was super on sale because I heard it was an okay game, and I played it and I was like, "Yo, these controls are fucked." I played it for like 5 hours, and I put the shit down and never picked it up again. I fucking hate that game. I hate that game.
I just, you know what it is?
5
I think
hours.
Erica said it best. I don't mind stealth, but in small doses. And let me give you an example. You say, well, Mooch, give me an example of what you could deal with. Ghost of Tsushima. There's parts when you go into an area that you have to take over. Like the first like area like of the 3 parts you go into, I usually stealth the first part. After that, the ninja's coming out. Okay, the samurai's coming out.
Like old school
No, see,
Assassin's
listen.
Creed. That's
Yes.
good stuff.
Yes, lady.
Old
like-
school
I love
Assassin's
stealth.
Creed.
Like
Yes.
if the game is good and the gameplay is good, like I prefer to stealth everything. Like I go through levels and try to
Always
accomplish
do
it
because
without
I
being
play
seen.
Rogue. Like Rogue
Yeah,
is my
I try to
shit.
play like fucking stealth ninja, and I'll do that the entire fucking game if the gameplay is fun. If the gameplay is not fun and the controls are fucked, I don't give a shit that it's stealth. It has to still be fun, whether it's stealth or not. If the gameplay is not fun, I'm not going to give a shit. There's plenty of stealth games out there that I don't care about.
But even with Hitman, you don't have to play stealth. You can just go balls all and just like shooting shit.
Yeah, but even balls out in Hitman doesn't feel good because the controls are shit and the game is clunky. I can't get into that game. It's just not for me,
shout out to HR Bomber. He says, but Ghost doesn't ever force stealth. And that's what I like.
Yeah,
it doesn't force stealth.
You can essentially
because I played stealth in Ghost, but I represented in Ghost.
Oh no, absolutely. Listen, I got to be honest with you, especially once you start when you get the when you can actually like assassinate from like dude, I love that. Like absolutely. But like I said, at the time though, there's times I do that and I'll get like half the camp done like, in assassin style, and then the rest of it it's like let's fight. You know what I mean? Hey, look at all the weapons you have in Ghost of Tsushima. Why would I want to just walk around and just stab the guy in the ear? Like, I mean, you got to do something else.
Yeah.
So
poison darts.
Good mix. Good mix is good.
Yeah.
I played the most ridiculous games. My favorite fucking game type is just horrible. So
yeah, Cryptopsy, he says, Mooch, would you say that you like stealth, but the games have to do more than just stealth or not only rely on that aspect? And that's it. And don't get me wrong. Shout out to, I'm looking to see who said this up here, right here, 2 miles from normal. He says, you don't have to play Hitman in stealth, which you don't, but you can definitely see that Hitman was designed with that in mind, right? I mean, that's just, it seems like, you have all the costumes and things you can change into and play this espionage role. You're supposed to be playing like a James Bond type of person. And it's funny, I had a couple of other topics here. One of the other ones was considering how we saw Hitman being developed by IO Entertainment, IO Interactive. Do you think that they are going to I mean, it's hard to say no. I think they'll handle the James Bond game fairly well, right? I mean,
it can't be a Hitman clone.
Am I going to just be able to slap people in multiplayer? That's all I care about.
Slap people.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I want to know if you can drink a martini in the game. That's what I want to know.
Deathmatch King of the Hill.
I just want to hide inside a fucking vent for a minute.
A question like that for me is hard because I've only seen IO do James Bond. Just like when people get excited for Fable, I'm like, I've only seen Playground Games do Forza Horizon. So, okay, they may be a good developer, but I've only seen them do this one thing. So it's hard for me to take this and say, oh yeah, they're going to make an amazing James Bond game because I haven't seen anything else that they can do.
Yeah, but James Bond, I think, follows along the lines of Hitman, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. That James Bond follows along the lines of Hitman.
Yeah. But look at GoldenEye. GoldenEye N64, the best James Bond game of all time, didn't have fucking any stealth in it whatsoever.
Are they going to make it a first-person shooter? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't think so. If I had to assume anything, I'm going to assume they're gonna go third-person action adventure because it's James Bond and James Bond. Watch a James Bond movie. It's all about the big set
do we even care about that? Like, I don't care about single player at all. For me, I'm just like, oh my god, somebody's giving me a James Bond game. Can I have fucking multiplayer?
You just want multiplayer?
Yes, you're thinking the old
multiplayer.
Multiplayer. I like when games they focus on single player and then have multiplayer added on. I don't like when it's the reverse. When it seems like it's a game that's all about the multiplayer with the single player campaign in there. I don't like when it's
if you're gonna offer both, I would say that I'd lean more towards them focusing on the single player, the multiplayer being not the afterthought by no means. Neither wants to be the afterthought. But I think lady, you're a big fan of with me and you've had this discussion. You're a huge fan of multiplayer games. And there's games like when people say Call of Duty now, it's funny. Like
I hate Call of Duty.
But the thing is, I think of Warzone. Like I don't even think about
good.
Right? When someone's like, hey, you want to play some Call of Duty? I'm like, I'll play Warzone. I don't really want to play.
That's exactly where I'm at. And it sucks too, because I'm fucking battle royales are taking over the world and I'm just over it. But I'm also yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. I feel the same way.
Call of Duty also hasn't had a good campaign in forever because they are all about
the last one. The last one was good.
This is a trending thing in gaming that co-op games and co-op, the co-op fucking part of games is declining.
I know.
It's a declining thing. So give me a fucking solid co-op.
That's the thing I don't understand. There was so many 2-player, 3-player, you play co-op and go through. Gears is really the only one I can think of nowadays.
We're seeing these bigger games, especially on the PlayStation side, that are getting all these accolades and winning awards and shit. And what are they? They are these single-player, story-based, narrative-driven games that are very cinematic and shit like that. Yeah. So, and to me, that's what I love. But because of that, that's where everything's going. Like Naughty Dog changed the game with Uncharted, and then especially with The Last of Us, and now everything is trying to be like that.
Yeah.
So that's why we're seeing, those other
love
things
multiplayer
disappear.
games, and I don't like that is not my bread and butter. Like I am a single player gamer. Like that is what I do,
Like,
and
when
I've
I was
just
a kid, I
gotten
was the
back
same way.
into cross or like multiplayer. Like that is
Yeah.
something that I've just gotten back.
But lady,
into.
that's why you're looking forward to Outriders, right? Like that's a game
absolutely.
we can jam
but
out.
Outriders,
right?
I'm not looking forward to playing that single player at all. Like I'm not playing.
But
that.
no,
I'm
you
not gonna
can-
touch that game.
I thought
single player.
I thought there was a 2 or 3 person campaign.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you
is.
could-
It is.
Oh, there is exactly,
Okay.
and I'm gonna play that in
Yes.
co-op. Like that is
Right.
because I haven't gotten
Absolutely.
into a co-op game in so long. Like
Yep.
nothing has been like, hey, come play me in co-op that I've wanted to play.
Right.
So like this is like something that I want to do. But
Yeah, you actually, I can't believe you have single-handedly talked me into. Every time I see something about that now, I'm kind of reading up on it. It
and I've
definitely
fucking
caught my
following
eye.
that game for 3 fucking years or
Yeah.
so. Like it's
I
crazy.
remember, I
And
mean,
then
I've
they
seen
put
it
out
since
that they
it
put
was-
out that fucking like we're delayed, and then everybody started following it.
I
I'm like,
know.
oh yeah, fucking
Well,
leave it to
again,
Twitter.
and this isn't because of like what I'm not going to use Erica's expression for this game, but again, timing's everything. Everybody right, Erica? Everybody wanted a game to play right now. So, I mean, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, now is the time. No matter what, that's why Hitman has never seen this kind of success. Never, and it never would. It hit the perfect time to hit the market.
Yes, I had
we
no
are
idea.
dry as hell as far as games go. You know what I mean? And that's the point of the matter. So Outriders would have killed in February. What would it have gone against? Nothing. So I mean, it
no,
would've
and
destroyed.
Outriders was supposed to come out in December.
Oh,
But
that's true.
this is what I
Yeah.
said last time. I said this is the only co-op game we have on the fucking. This is what we have on our table right now. We do not have co-op games. This is not something that's being done. So if they can come out with a fucking James Bond that is like a co-op driven, because I mean, when you think back to your N64 fucking GoldenEye days, are you thinking about your fucking campaign? Because I'm
No,
not.
but
I'm
we have-
thinking
we also
about
have
my
to
fucking
understand that
co-op
shit
for fucking
changed
sitting
so
there
much
with
from
my
then.
cousins and fucking shit up and like hiding, like slapping people. That's what I'm
You're
what I'm
like-
thinking.
Right,
of.
Just
but
laughing.
so much has changed from then. Back then, nobody gave a fuck about the stories in games. There were barely stories in games. You just played through shit, and then you had your co-op and multiplayer and shit.
Didn't.
that you
I
played now.
fucking
But-
played story-based games from the
No, there was
time I
there were
was
stories
that
in games
young.
back then.
Right,
You just
but
had, you just had to read
they
it.
weren't. They weren't at the same level. And the medium
I'm a
has
reader.
grown so much from back then in the freaking 80s and 90s and shit.
Yeah.
Like the medium has grown to where now video games are able to tell stories in a more compelling way than fucking movies can.
Yeah,
Right?
but that's
And-
true.
and-
That's true.
And how do you make it right because
Yeah.
the technology caught up.
But they tell stories before that.
How do you make a co-op game with a compelling story that you can only play by yourself? Because in order for that to work,
But you make
it would
it
have to
fun,
be-
and that's what
No,
it's fucking
no,
about. It's
no,
not about
my
fucking the
point is
story
that-
when you're in co-op mode. It's about fucking having fun. Like I don't even
Okay,
care if
then-
fucking
okay, if you're talking
Ghost
about
the dog is dying or whatever.
no,
like, I
no,
don't
no. But
care.
then just make it a multiplayer game, an online multiplayer game. Because if you're talking about co-op through the story, you still want the story to be somewhat compelling, but you're playing with a buddy. But the thing is that only works if you are always playing with somebody else, and the game is designed to only be played with 2 people at the same time and can't be played with 1 person. That's the only way a co-op
No,
game will ever
and
work.
I will give you that, but I am mainly talking about PvP. Like PvP, like
Okay,
give
well
me
then that's not-
multiplayer
that's not
PvP
co-op.
game. Like when is the
That's not
last? Like
co-op
I
then.
don't.
That's different than co-op. Co-op and multiplayer are 2 different things.
I mean, yeah, I'll give you that. But like, I mean, that's my favorite. That's just what I look back at on fucking.
But when
GoldenEye.
you-
Like that's
back,
my
back,
jam.
back in the day, 2 TV, system link, 2
Well-
Xboxes, fucking 4v4.
Okay, how
Halo
old
2.
are you?
That
Hold
was the
on, how
shit.
old are you?
Me?
What's going on
How
right
old are
now?
you?
I'm 35.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the same age as I am, so I
How-
thought
how-
that maybe you were younger because you were. Yeah, okay, sorry. But
was
yeah,
like-
like, I remember like just sitting next on the couch.
You gotta be careful,
like, it's not
lady.
even fucking-
If lady hears that you were grabbing aluminum foil and putting it on rabbit ears, she's like, "How the hell old are you?"
Hey Mooch, did I tell you I was an Xbox Live beta tester?
You did mention that. Yeah, ask lady. There you go. You want to talk about experience.
I'm old.
That's experience right there. I got a couple of super chats here that I didn't get to yet. The Rogue Inquisitor, he says, Mooch, look up the Unsung War from Ace Combat 5. Most epic music ever. The melodic punk, he says, catching the episode on VOD at work. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you so much. Sir X-Man says, where's the awesome cart game Microsoft showed us? That's yet to be determined. Sir X-Man comes back, says, the best stealth game, Splinter Cell and Batman. Batman was decent. Sir X-Man says, Mooch, she sounds like me talking about co-op. Yes, you are a big fan of that. But yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to Outriders. And the only game that really kind of ever came close to that has been Gears. I mean, Gears is the only game where I said, okay, me, and it was actually myself, it was Brap, and it was Forte. And we were playing through, and actually, shout out to Gaming Addict. He joined us one night. We had a bunch of people kind of jumping in and out as we were going through the 4 acts. I didn't get to the 5th act yet. Shame on me. I might need Erica to drag me through that 5th act.
Didn't we play it on PC?
Which game?
We did Gears 5.
Gears 5.
Oh, right.
I literally have
I was actually going to
act.
say, I feel like co-op is making a resurgence. It's coming back.
I hope so. What are you seeing
you got
here?
game- I mean, you got games like, you have Gears, you got the Hive Busters that just came out. That's cool. And
No
then
one
you
played
got
it.
Hey man, I did.
No, I'm just saying. I know you did, but
right.
I know you
what?
did.
But that gets into the whole conversation of Xbox just not advertising it. That's a whole different topic. But you got
Erica,
games like what?
Erica, real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you know what's crazy? When I played that game, I popped a rare achievement for opening up a door.
Listen, Xbox guys, they get a little lost. They get a little lost.
Like what's
What
like
can I
Erica,
say? I don't
seriously,
know.
like to your point, like
2%
they
of the
didn't advertise it.
It is wild.
They don't advertise
Yeah.
anything. They've got fucking endless fucking bottomless pockets, and they don't advertise shit. Meanwhile, PlayStation will fucking skin an entire fucking subway train for Spider-Man. Like, I don't understand why the decisions
It's such a big conversation because it's like that gets into the whole debate of like, does Game Pass ruin these games? Do they just throw them in there and then they don't advertise them no more? But that's a whole other thing. But what I was gonna say, you got games like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, co-op. Sackboy had co-op. You have games like Gotham Knights coming out. That's gonna have co-op.
Yes.
The one we talked about, Outriders, like Division. There's a lot of
Destiny.
games that
Are any of them like
run through.
couch co-op?
No.
I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure on that.
That's something I wish they would
Is
bring
Gears
back.
couch co-op?
That-
No.
Why can't they
I'm
put
not
split
sure.
split screen in games? Why can't back in the day we played 4-player split screen on a TV where you can't see shit. Now we can actually see shit, and they don't give us split screen.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I'm
That's
talking about when I go back to like James Bond. Like I want the four fucking cross screen James Bond experience with my fucking golden gun and fucking shit up. Like that is what
HR Bomber, he made a good point. That
But
game,
it's because
Suicide Squad, and also the not Batman Knights, but the
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. That's going to be that type of game, and so is Suicide Squad. That's a good point.
It's to me, in my opinion, and then you got. I mean, I feel like it's coming back. You got other small games like what's that?
You have
game
Outriders.
called?
You even
What's the
have
game called
games
where you
like
cook?
Stardew.
What's the
Stardew
game
has
called?
There's
You
that
get Overcooked. You got Overcooked. You got like party games and
Baked
stuff
and
like
Switch.
that.
you got that
There's a
Robin Hood
lot.
game. The fucking Hood something in Legends or whatever.
No,
That's a
I
co-op
mean,
game.
I'm not saying that it's not like a thing when it's online. Like, I mean, it's definitely coming
So you
back.
want
and
you want the
its own
couch
thing.
co-op?
It's because
like,
we're
that what
at
you
the
want?
point where, especially because a lot of us that grew up during that time where it was split screen and shit. Now we're all adults, and it's just convenient for people to be like, I don't have to fucking go anywhere. I can play with fucking Billy, fucking 4 miles away, 5 miles away, however far he is
Right, of
from my
course,
house.
yeah.
I don't have to go anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
That's why.
I don't
Because
want
if-
online co-op as well,
but
but I
that's-
just think that it's something that they need to fucking integrate back into the fucking system.
I agree. It should be an option. Like they took the option away from us. Like just give me the damn. I may never use it, but give me the fucking option.
Yeah, that's
Well, and
that's-
I do use it because I have fucking children.
Yeah,
And like one of my
that's what I was
favorite
gonna
things
say.
to do is sit there on my fucking
Yeah.
couch and play a
Yep.
game with my kid.
Yep.
Like,
I gotta.
and
know what's so
it would be
funny?
nice to not have to have multiple consoles to play with your
I
kid.
gotta.
It'd be nice
I gotta.
to
agree.
Exactly.
I'm glad you
Like, I
guys
don't
had
need
that
a LAN
discussion.
party. Like I don't need
Right.
it to be like it's
You
fucking.
don't need Cat 5 cable in your living room everywhere, right?
Yeah, you don't need.
Lady,
Yeah, like it's
listen,
not
lady,
something I need.
lady here trying to have Halo tournaments in her house. I feel it. I feel it.
Well,
no,
that actually would be
fucking thing,
cool.
dude. Like, I mean, I just
I
it's
sit here
fucking
and I
sucks. Like,
say-
I have Nintendo for co-op. Like
Exactly.
that's I'm sitting
I
here
was just
playing
gonna say
Mario
that.
Party every fucking Saturday night with my kids, and I just want something else kind
Yeah.
of to.
Yeah.
I was just
Hey,
gonna say that
Erica.
the kids play split screen, Mario Kart, Mario Party. They'll play
Yeah.
that, and just when you-
Nintendo still does it
yeah, they
so
do
well.
it. They do it. They do it with everything.
They do it.
yeah.
They never dropped it.
No.
But you know what they did drop was online. Like I can't fucking play Mario Party with you, Mooch.
No,
and I
but-
had this
no.
rant before, so I won't go back
Nintendo-
into it. But
Nintendo can't seem to get it both down. It's one or the other.
no, exactly. They're
I
like,
also
we're still gonna.
understand
Yeah.
why the fuck the Switch doesn't have apps? Like the Switch is a fucking mobile device, and I can't.
Oh
watch
my god, I
Netflix
can
on
go
it.
into the
What
whole
the fuck?
Switch fucking fiasco.
What the fuck?
Nintendo. That's why.
Back for Blood's another big game that's going to be a 4-player co-op. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Hey, Mooch,
Yeah,
what
that's
about
really cool.
what about the zombie game that's coming out? What's it called?
That's what
We
I just
just
said.
said.
Back for
Yeah,
Blood.
Back
Blood.
for
You said
Blood.
okay.
Back
The-
for Blood.
the Left 4 Dead
shit,
successor.
That game
Yeah,
was
basically
fucking
Left 4 Dead.
fire.
No,
I
no,
played
not Left
alpha
4 Dead. The
that.
other one.
What?
The other one that we
Dying Light?
that we Dying Light.
Dying
thank
Light
you.
too.
Oh
yes.
no! Okay,
Yeah.
so Dying
Love
Light
that.
was supposed to come out last year, and
Yep.
now it was delayed 6 months, and then it was delayed again. So I don't know where they are, but the fact that they're still fucking pushing out content for Dying Light, the very fucking first Dying Light, is subpar in my mind. In a way, but I'm also like, can you stop putting out fucking content for that and focus on my number two?
It's like
please?
it's nice that you're giving shit to the people that bought the first game, but how about you stop and make the second
Yeah,
game?
how about you
Jesus
just
Christ.
give me the second one, please? I bought that for myself on Valentine's Day, like 2016. I don't even know what fucking year it was at this time, but I bought it for myself on that day.
What
And
game is
I
it,
am-
lady?
Dying Light.
Dying Light. I gotta be honest with you. Dying Light is still, and it's funny because it was so early in the generation of Gen 8. Like I sometimes when people say, "Oh, we're doing an end of the year, give us the best of the generation," blah blah, and I'll sit there and I forget sometimes. But Dying Light was absolutely amazing, like flat out amazing.
phenomenal.
And you know what? I want to tell the devs,
Phenomenal
I
game.
want to be like, stop overdoing it, stop overselling it, stop putting more stuff in it. Just make a much more polished version. Let 4 people play at the same
number
time,
2.
and just put it out there. Like
It's been
think about the game that
two
Cyberpunk,
E3s since we saw
Cyberpunk
it.
could have been.
That's right.
If CD Projekt Red wasn't working on fucking DLC for The Witcher 3 and was just starting Cyberpunk, Cyberpunk would have been a completely different fucking game.
that's probably true too. Well, let me tell you what's
I
really
can
true.
fucking agree with that.
I've kept you guys here till 20 after 9 o'clock in New York, which is
I'm
not
sorry.
that's not normal. I apologize. These people have families and
This
games
happened
to
last
play.
time I was on the show.
It's
What
happy
the
hour.
fuck?
No, lady, that was when it's 7 o'clock when we start over here Eastern time. But I think that me and you were doing Noof Nukem's show, which by the way, Noof Nukem's show being on the West Coast. Shout out to Noof Nukem, but like his show starts at when does it start? Doesn't it start at 10 o'clock
10 or 11 I thought.
Eastern? That
Maybe
is-
11. I thought it was 11.
Lady was like, I don't mind. I'm like, yeah, lady's over. That's at 7 o'clock for her. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock
Yeah,
over here. I'm like, we
it's
got to get up at 6 in the
7:19
morning.
for
I'm
sure.
like, holy shit. But shout out to Noof Nukem. Awesome show. We had a blast. That was actually where first time I got to hang out, lady. But guys, great show tonight. Amazing panel.
It was our meeting.
It was our
Aw.
meeting.
It was our
Aw.
meeting. That's where we met.
So great.
Aw.
No, this was fantastic. I had a great time tonight. As Lucas said before she left, lots of energy. Guys, do know that the great Crap Gamer could not make it tonight. He will be back next week. And so will Xbox 448, which, believe me, we will be asking the Xbox defense lawyer what his thoughts are on this whole thing next week. Don't think he's off the hook. He's not off the hook yet. But let me go in reverse order here and just say, Erica, thank you so much for being here tonight. It was outstanding to have you. Great time talking to you. Amazing. You've brought a new term to Mooch's vocabulary with games that come out in January and February. But thank you for being here and let everybody know where they can find you.
Yes. Thanks for having me again. It was a good time. Shout out to the panel. You guys were great. So Erica's for the win everywhere. You can find me on Twitch. You can find me on YouTube. I think I'm like 40 away from 10K or something like that. I'm
Wow.
like close.
Do it.
I'm more so. I know I'm almost there. I'm more so on Twitch these days, but my YouTube's still there. I cover like Souls-like games. I cover Gears. I stream a lot of Gears with the friends and all that. And I also have a podcast called The Backlog, which is actually tomorrow. It's bi-weekly.
Great show.
Tomorrow, 5:30 Pacific. Mooch has been there before. He's
Yes.
been a guest. And that was great. So
Absolutely.
again, thanks for having me. And lady, I was sad to hear you don't play any multiplayer because I was about to hit you up for Gears
No,
one-on-one.
well, no, I mean
1v1.
I do, but I mean it's just not something I do. Jen, look,
Aw.
I have a fucking fuck ton of kids, and they're a pain in the ass.
I was about to hit you with that 1v1.
Lady,
Let's do
you
it.
are a
He
saint.
did call them demons.
You are a saint,
Yeah.
Look
lady.
at Brap knows. Brap has.
I know,
Brap knows.
I've got the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in my house.
No, he knows. I have fucking 6 kids at any fucking given time in my house, and they're not
Jesus
even all mine. Like
Christ.
that's just what I fucking do.
Lady, I
Like,
gotta be honest with you, I'm not jealous. I have 4.
I'm not jealous. And that's why I'm drunk. Like that's why I'm fucking drunk.
I don't
right
blame
now.
you. I don't blame you. So I tell Mooch, I'm like, Mooch, let me come up CrossFire. Every Friday is like happy hour for me.
It is. It's great. Well,
no, Erica. Wait, you know what? If you are down for Outriders when it comes out, we should totally fucking hit it up.
That'd be cool.
I
That'd be cool.
I might be down for some of these co-op games. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I might have to hit you
I
up.
love
Might
that
have to hit
shit.
you
We
up.
do like some Halo like game nights and shit occasionally. It would be fun.
That'd be cool. And yeah, you talking about your kids? I'm over here with my 2 cats and a husband. That's it. That's funny.
Still a handful, Erica.
Yeah, no,
Fur
yeah,
babies.
I have
That's
too
my
many.
baby. For now, it's my babies. But yeah, you guys,
You played
again,
it smart. You played it smart. Good job.
thanks again for having me, you guys. Shout out to the chat, and I'll see you guys soon, I'm sure.
Appreciate that,
have a good
Erica.
one.
Thank you. And I'm not sure. I
Gears
see,
2 goat.
I see Noximus
Facts.
has his mic muted. And he did write me. He said, Mooch, I'm heading out to go watch a movie with the miss. Oh, he is here. The great D Nox.
No.
Nox. I'm sorry, buddy. You know how sometimes Mooch
Knox,
runs
tell
late.
Chauncey I said what's up.
I saw Ryan in the chat. He says, Mooch, you're keeping your guests after the 2-hour mark. I'm telling Jason crunch. So I apologize, guys. I am keeping you here on crunch.
Is that about Jason Schreier?
So yes. So Knox, thanks for being
Crunch
here tonight,
works.
buddy. Now that you're back in the loop, hopefully you're getting that jive back, buddy. We want to get you back on the show as much as possible. So Knox, let the people know where they can find you.
Oh man, you can find me on my neglected channel right here on YouTube. Not because God, Jesus Christ. But no, man, I do. I had a great time tonight, man. Thanks for having me. Always in CrossFire. You already know how that goes, man. And this panel was awesome, man. The chat was awesome. This was dope, man. This was dope, and I definitely would like to come back and start doing more shit. But like take you, man.
That's all right. Listen,
I mean-
that's exactly it. Listen, Knox, when you say you can make it, just let me know. You know how to get a hold of me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Knox.
Absolutely.
Thank you, man. Enjoy the night, and I appreciate you staying after the 9 o'clock hour because it is getting late. I apologize about that. Then I got
No problem, my brother.
Thank you, Dean. Then I got my buddy here, Supernova, who literally was on fire tonight. Nova, it was great to have you on the show. I got to tell you, I've had you on the show because I see how you write on Twitter, and I'm like, I got to be honest. I'm like, when there's a topic that's just on fire, that's when you got to get the super. Hence the name Supernova, right? You're not going to come on the show if we're just talking about Hitman 3. So Supernova, thank you so much for being here tonight, buddy. I appreciate the energy, the fire you brought to the panel and the chat. But let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, and again, thanks for having me, man. Anytime you ask, man, I'm going to show up. And I think everybody on the panel is someone I haven't met before. I think I might have done a panel with Brap before. I'm not sure, but everybody else I think I hadn't met before. So it was nice meeting all you guys. You can catch me on YouTube at Supernova Gaming or on Twitter, and it's at Gaming Supernova.
Awesome, Nova. Thank you so much. And then the lady herself, Lady, was back tonight, and we're going to get Lady back on as much as possible as well. Lady, thanks for being here tonight, honestly. And you know what? You brought some great perspectives as well to the whole co-op. I didn't even have that as a topic. And I love how we got into it. So, Lady, let everybody know where they can find you. That's all right. That's the way to be. I'm jealous. I'll be there in February.
You should be.
Trust me.
Fucking good time to be drunk.
It's not a bad time. It's a pandemic. What else are you going to do?
Exactly.
Right? This is the best
Absolutely.
time ever for Gen whatever you are. It doesn't matter what generation you were born. Drinking and staying and playing video games, and it's socially acceptable. I'm sold.
Absolutely.
So
It should have
lady-
been socially acceptable fucking 10 years ago. So fuck all you
Well, I
guys.
hope
Fuck
so.
the
Well, we
haters.
agree with you. You're in good company there. But it was, I got to be honest with you. You could walk around now with an Outriders t-shirt, okay, or a Destiny 2 face mask, and everyone's like, that's cool. 10 years ago, not really sure. People be like, what the hell is that?
Being in fucking high school and being like, yo, I play fucking video games. I'm playing Final Fantasy X. Like, woohoo,
But
you
I didn't even know there was
Titus, this is
t-shirts.
what I'm doing.
Was
and
there
everybody's like,
t-shirts?
can you sit at that fucking table? Like, nah, sorry. bitch.
Being a nerd is cool now, so fuck all the haters from
Right.
20 years
It's
ago.
Thank
fucking
you,
crazy.
Nova.
Like, it's the cool thing to do. And like, I'm
Yep.
such a hipster that I'm like, I was doing this before. It was cool.
Video
think
games
you're
are
trying to be
cool.
like me.
Comic book movies are cool. Like,
Fucking
I know.
crazy, yo.
It is
What
wild.
a
Shit is
time to be
cool.
alive.
great for us.
Fucking time.
yeah.
So great. Lady, let
No,
people
I
know where they
agree.
can find
you
you.
can find me on Twitter at lady_AF. That's LAIDY_AF. You can find me every Wednesday on Gaming Beyond the Box podcast. And then just all over the interwebs. You can go back into my backlog and find some of my pre-recorded podcasts. I did some fucking pretty cool shit back in, well, not back in the day, but in the past few years. Yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome,
doing-
lady. I
doing
appreciate it.
things.
And hopefully you'll come back on the show.
Yeah, I'm
That's
always
what I'm
down.
talking
I had
about.
to fucking like ask for it, kind of.
You did, and I apologize. Like, you know what's funny? And the audience is going to get bored here. It's interesting because there's times when I have requested some people, and I put it weeks out. I'm like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And they'll say yes. Then what'll happen is you get closer and closer to the date, and I don't know if Erica, you realize this, but like Brap, I know has run into it. They'll say, you know what, Mooch, something came up. I might be there, or I might be there, and I might. So you get like 5 or 6 yeses, and then as you get closer to the date, you might get a maybe here and there. So that's why when you asked, I was like, I'm like, yep, come on. But some people like don't want to come on a podcast when there's like 8 or 9.
I just said like, if you want somebody to rant about Xbox's stupid fucking
and I was
move,
like, of course I do. Of course I do. That's what we do here. That's the show. There's the show. The whole
that's
show
what
was
I was
ranting.
like literally when it came out, I'm like, fuck, CrossFire's gonna be lit.
I'm so glad. Listen, I gotta be honest with you. You wrote me. I had Luca, a bunch of people, and I'm like, let's go. Let's make this. Let's get this thing to be an event.
We're doing it.
So no, I appreciate it, guys. I really, really do. You guys are an outstanding panel tonight. Speaking of an outstanding panel, let's not forget the one and only PC Master Race, self-invented himself, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, Brap.
Let me tell you something. Great,
What a pause.
great show tonight. Loved it. And Mooch, I feel sorry for the Mets. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, yeah. So
you
does
know.
New York.
Sorry.
So does
Yeah, I'm
New
so
York.
sorry about that. But no, it's just a
But
great
you have
show.
Buffalo.
We do
Yeah,
have
get the
Buffalo.
Bills. Got the Bills. right?
I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah.
Oh, you might want to switch
Fuck
teams.
you. Wow.
Being a Mets fan, I thought you might be a Jets fan as well.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I know.
Jets.
Everyone always
Jets.
thinks that. No, I'm Mets and Giants. It's a rare breed.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's
It is.
But no, seriously, Mooch, great show. Great panel. I mean, just, you know, I love doing this show on Fridays. It really is kind of like happy hour for me.
Appreciate it.
And you know, it's it always lives up to the name CrossFire. So
Oh yeah.
but yeah, big shout out to everyone in the live chat. And check us out on Basement Radio K Podcast, Brap, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you again, Mooch, for having me on. Appreciate it.
always,
Everyone
Brap.
have a great weekend. Enjoy your time gaming. If you're playing Gears of War 5, turn that shit off and play the original
Aw,
trilogy.
man.
Because that's where it's at. Erica,
rough.
you agree with me. Gears 1, 2, and 3,
That's rough.
GOAT. That's the real Gears.
I mean, if I got to pick, yes.
Facts. Thank you, Erica.
So bad. Erica's like, oh.
And ladies, salute, by the way. Salute to you, by the way.
There you go.
I know, Brap. We on this. We good. We cool. We cool, boy.
Yeah, I got it. She's like, I know. Well, here's the funny part. So my usual suspects all aren't here, so I'll plug their channels for them. Shout out to the Great Gaming Forte who had to leave early. I get these side messages too, like, Mooch, you're well over 2 hours. I've got to go. So Gaming Forte had to bounce early, but check out Forte, who had a DPS podcast last night, which was great. It was fantastic. I tuned in for the first hour, and then I just literally got to watch the rest of it tonight. That's just the way my life is. But shout out to Forte, outstanding work there. Then the great Xbot448, who works every other Friday now, so he's only here on every other Friday. Do check out his channel. He did have next podcast as well last night, and I believe it was 7 p.m. Eastern time. And the one and only, we will be doing an MNC this show this Sunday, 11:30 a.m., is the great Crap Gamer, Crap_Gamer, and Crap Gamer Reviews on YouTube. Guys, my information is right there. And for all of you guys that waited till the end, I do want you to know that we have diligently been working on the new set. And hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be early February, because the guys that are helping me out, I can only ask so much. They have stuff that they're doing on their time as well. So they made time for the Mooch. That being said, guys, we'll see you next Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Enjoy your weekend. Have a good time. Game on. We'll see you later. Peace out.
Gears
Drink
2,
some
GOAT.
vodka.